Crypto Kingdom. Welcome to the Crypto Kingdom, guys. We have a phenomenal show today. I want to go over a few different issues. First and primary, guys, we have a line of resistance on Bitcoin. I want to be very clear about this. We have a line of resistance on Bitcoin. Really, we have two. I'm going to say we've broken through one, but we've encountered another one. Also, we have important information. I want to go ahead and deliver it to you guys. We have changed our Twitter, guys. We've changed our Twitter. For all you VIPs, make sure you go to Bitcoin Spike, okay? Go to Bitcoin Spike and make sure you follow us on Bitcoin Spike. Everyone's getting plugged in, but it's just Bitcoin Spike, guys, and go ahead and follow me on Bitcoin Spike. I will put you in the DMs. I signed in to the other Twitter with a different phone, guys, a different phone IP, whatever it is, and we had an issue, and they have suspended it. It's not restricted. I guess it's locked down for security. So I'm very happy that Twitter has done that for us. Thank you, Twitter. Very nice, good security. That's why we choose Twitter. Excuse me. Let's go through the technicals today. It's going to be a really interesting, guys. This is in depth in terms of the technicals. We would definitely pride ourselves on being the number one group to bring you guys this information, and it's really, really essential that you pay attention. Please pay attention. Now, we have a few different lines. You guys may have done this already. Maybe you've done this on your own. I want to teach you the technique to make sure that you have the proper lines right now. Now, first of all, we're looking at a few different, barriers. One has been conquered. First of all, the idea or the notion that we have conquered this, and I want to point out on the candlesticks, we have a very clear triple bottom, okay? A very clear triple bottom on Bitcoin. Very important. 1, 2, 3, okay? Very important in terms of that triple bottom. Now, a triple bottom can serve as a reversal. You guys understand that? Yes, you understand that. We've been through that a lot. So, in terms of that reversal, guys, we're going to need to conquer this previous intermittent high. We have done that. That's the good news. We have done that. That is one barrier that has been blown through. Okay, I'd say the next real barrier we're looking at, guys, is this 23% retracement. We have gotten up through it, but guys, we've sheltered down kind of underneath it. We're right along that line now. So that's kind of a critical moment as you guys look at kind of this line of resistance that we have encountered. It was definitely anticipated. We talked about it, and I want to let you guys know that 23% is one barrier. Now, it looks like we have good price action. We have not broken down from the trend at all. That's positive, right? We have maintained the same line. I just want to go through this, and you guys know this. This is nothing new to you. Let me go to the 3-minute or the, let's go to the 3-minute or the, let's go to the 15-minute and take a look. Until we break this trend line, guys, we're in good shape. You guys understand that. Everyone's on the same page in terms of that trend line. That's no problem. You will see how we are striated right now, literally just carving up along that 38.2. That is a big deal, guys. That's literally is it thinking about it? It's definitely expressing itself as a line, as a kind of moment in time that we will remember. What we'll really remember, and I'm really excited. I talked to Mitchell tonight. He is a member of the VIP. Very exciting. Let me scroll up to this. Is this guys, this ascending triangle that we called in the back, this small ascending triangle right here. Let me go ahead and do this right here. Let me do this. This small ascending triangle, guys. I saw this formation. It had a higher low right here. I brought it to the attention, literally, of the VIP. And guys, this was the breakout of the current move. So in terms of the Bitcoin spike that you guys are seeing, the kind of the redo of the show, and we'll work on the visuals, etc. We're very excited that, we kind of owned this. It was very nice in terms of bringing that information to the VIP, to you guys. And it's very exciting. Those back rooms are where all the action goes, guys. We have changed. Just hit the like button today, especially. It's very important that you guys let me know you're just here. I need to cover the fact on Twitter, we have a new Twitter, okay? It's Bitcoin Spike, okay? And I need you guys to plug into that. It's extremely important, okay? It's extremely important. So the other Twitter, we'll get it back in 24, 48 hours. Nothing bad happened. I just signed in from the wrong place. So as we look at this 38.2, that's just the truth, guys. It's happened before, so I'm not worried about it. It's happened before. I've signed in from some other errant kind of place, or I don't know. So they have good security. That's why I like them very much. Shout out to them. So as we look at this 38.2, guys, the important thing is that we have conquered this barrier. We have conquered this intermittent barrier. You guys know that. Hey, everyone's excited about that. We're up above that. It kind of seems like we're in the process of confirming. I would probably say it looks like we're in the process of confirming, establishing a confirmation above that. We would like to see a lot of trajectory to the upside. I'm going to talk about exactly why we might be hesitating right now. Why are we hesitating? What's going on above? Because you guys know, and I'll just bring up, guys, page, case, and numbers for you guys that study the books, right? Page 119 is a nice page to look at, guys. Page 119 talks about kind of, this double bottom scenario. I think that you'll find, on this hourly, look at this double bottom, guys, and look at page 119. It's exactly what you're looking at, guys. Exactly what you're looking at. It's not a guesswork. It's not, we found it on Google. It's the New York Institute of Finance saying, hey, this is how this works out. Bravo, right? We want to listen to the guys who train the best guys on Wall Street, right? That's what we want to do. We appreciate all you being involved, all you subscribers, all you VIPs. You guys know it's a little transition now with Bitcoin spike, but hey, guys, we own it, guys. We owned it, guys. We own this ascending triangle. That's what we're about, right? Getting that information to the VIPs. I talked to Mitchell via in Bitcoin spike today. He was telling me that he got in around this area. I didn't get the exact price from him, but it's it's nice, right? Get that information. Julian was like, I remember that that post like it just happened, right? In terms of me getting that information to them, so it's very, very nice. We have broken through. Let's just revamp kind of the good stuff here, guys. We have broken through this resistance, and the resistance is identified, guys. It's a a validated resistance line, guys. It's literally right here. Okay, I mean, it's just textbook. I have to tell you that because I don't need to verify it for me. It's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. It's not this channel says this channel says that, or I read this, or I think that. No, it's solid New York Institute of Finance, like the backdoor Wall Street. That is the case. So this is the place you'll find that verification in terms of that the quality of information. This is on the hourly chart. And let's go through what's going on right now. In addition to this confirmation, we have like a threefold. It's like a triple punch, guys. We have a threefold kind of circumstance going on right now. We have this 38.2, and guys, we are just straddling that 38.2. We are just literally right on that 38.2. That's the extension. You guys know that. Now, the important thing I want you guys to recognize, if you can just pay attention real quickly, is this line. This is the last barrier that we have to break, guys, before I think we're kind of in the clear for a minute. It could still be a bull trap here and there. We could still need to really mind our P's and Q's, but I want to talk about this line right here. I think it's really phenomenally important for your holdings, okay, for your trading, for your guys, for everything that you're doing right now, for everything we've done in the entirety of this space. I just want you guys to pay close attention to this specific line. I'm going to go to the daily. We're going to go to the daily. Please pay attention, very, very close attention. This is critical information, guys. As you look at your holdings, as you look at your trading, as you look at your position in Bitcoin, your cash position, please pay attention. This is hugely important. Now, please, when you assess this diagonal line, I want you guys to definitely turn on the magnet on TradingView. You guys know that. But there's a differential here, guys. You can either be zoomed in and you can receive that perfectly, guys. You can receive the perfection of it. If you are zoomed out and you use the magnet, please pay attention. Sometimes you will have some variation in the line that is drawn. Sometimes TradingView, the good old dependable, even the Pro Premium Edition, sometimes TradingView will throw you a little bit of something that you need to zoom in on, and then you'll find that that line is not perfectly attached. So please pay attention when you draw your lines, guys. And we have all the extensions set up here. I can take those away for a moment so that we can just look at this beautiful price action. I have drawn what, guys, this is clearly indicative of a descending wedge. It's a bullish pattern, okay? So in terms of how you're presenting yourself or what we're looking at, we are completing right now with the most recent Bitcoin spike that we've had, guys. We're completing, okay, we are essentially, we're fulfilling, okay, very important, a bullish pattern. So when someone asks you or me or anyone else, well, what's going on with Bitcoin? Because everyone wants to know, because you're in crypto, right? Absolutely. So we can tell them, as a matter of fact, it's currently in a bullish pattern. Okay, it's in this descending wedge. We don't have to get into the specifics. This is a continuation pattern. It's on the macro. It's not something standardly that we would say, we would always expect. But guys, it is so well fulfilled in terms of this this line of resistance and this line of support. The line of support couldn't be much more identified in terms of that, guys. We spent a lot of time down there. So in terms of this, understand it's a bullish pattern. That's good. The issue right now, as you have dug in to the, I guess, I'm going to say if you have or have not, I just want to caution you guys to definitely be extremely careful of where you draw your lines. Okay, I can show you some techniques right now in terms of how you can best express this or how you can best achieve this. Just be careful, guys. And I'm not saying that because I mean you guys know how to trade. I know that. But in terms of this original line here, in terms of the perfection of it, making sure this trend line is snapped on, guys. Like, I mean, Gorilla Glue. It needs to be on there. I mean, cement tight fix, not going to move with that magnet. And zoom in. Make sure that you've zoomed in and you've reattached that to perfection. Then you want to make sure, guys, and what you can do. I want to let you guys know what you can do is you can draw a trend line. I think this is a very, very good technique for you guys to look at, guys. You can draw a trend line. What you can do with that trend line is the following. You can draw a trend line. Let's say, let's snap on, hold the control down, snap on. I want you to draw the trend line just from here to here. Okay, then, okay, we've snapped on. That snaps on between the two peaks. Okay, then if you go and you double click, guys, extend right line, bam. Okay, now that eliminates any possibility of your line being off through what you have drawn. Okay, now in the entirety of that, looking analytically at what we have just created, guys, that is a line. Okay, that's a trend line clearly expressed from the top that gives us that top line of resistance on the falling wedge, correct? Yes. Now your line may bother you a little because it's going all the way down. I wouldn't worry about that right now. You know what to dismiss and what to focus on, right? Absolutely. So when we're looking at this and we're talking about this line of resistance right now that we still need to get above, I want you to zoom in and see how close we are to trying to break through that line. Now, that's critical in terms of your holding. It's critical in terms of, I mean, guys, this would be, I'd say, a great moment that a lot of people would take a profit and look for a breakout. That's true. A lot of people would. It's been a bullish run like nobody's business, guys, that we haven't seen in the last year in terms of, guys, over the last 10, 11, 12 days, guys. It's been up 45%. A lot of VIPs, you guys are just killing it, right? So this would be a moment when I guess I'd say this, a sophisticated trader would at least make the evaluation. And now we are so strong, guys, we're in a bullish pattern. I'm going to say that. Okay, the one good thing that this wedge does, it gives us a little bit of an idea in terms of our risk factor. Guys, it's very well expressed in terms of where Bitcoin can go. So when we describe this, I can say it's definitely in a bullish pattern. Bitcoin has established itself, and this is what this spike has done, guys. It has reestablished itself. I'll need to change that on the lines, so you'll have to go back and adjust that setting. You guys know that. Just covering the basics in case some people don't. In terms of this line that's been established, the important part of the move up is that we have completed, okay, we've essentially perfectly established, guys, this descending wedge. And the descending wedge is a continuation pattern. It's supposed to go to the upside, supposed to continue up. And that's just exciting, guys. That is the bull, guys. That guy. You want to talk about a bull market? We're in a bullish pattern after an extremely strong run up, and we're in a currently bullish, guys. You want to say a bull market, guys? It's a continuation pattern. We would like to see, the only caveat I will give that is we would like to see a breakout within about, I'd say, guys, about 3/5 of the area of this, guys, and within the area of this, we'd like to see a breakout, technically speaking. Okay, we don't want this to possibly or potentially drive down at all. We don't want that at all. If it were to fulfill this pattern more fully, we don't want it to drip into the edge in terms of the fulfillment. It may lose the force of this pattern, guys. We want it to break out at about the 3/5 mark, guys. Okay, so that's just about the 60%. That's what we would anticipate in terms of the measurement that we would like it to accomplish itself in. So just get ready for some price action. The good thing that we have is we have kind of a battle going on right now, and it's a real. I'm going to say it's live. It's going on right now in terms of the price action. We're so phenomenally excited, guys, about your purchases, guys, and I'm glad to be able to have brought that to you guys in terms of saying yes, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, and bam. We did it, guys, and that's nice. We look for those trades. We look for, the right time to buy, and this was definitely a right time to buy. It's not maybe every day. We don't want to buy high, sell low. You guys know that, but you guys aren't in risk or danger of doing that. You're very good in terms of your approach to the market. And so we are just like, guys, we are literally cornered in right here in need of some price action. You guys know JP Morgan recently decided they were going to offer it to their wealth clients. Since then, it's performed phenomenally well. That's important because I think JP Morgan wants to come forward and wants to be able to say, yes, look at the performance of this asset. Look at the performance of Bitcoin. Very, very nice. I want to check in the chat to kind of see how people are doing. Yeah, it looks like you guys are kind of showing up. Go ahead and hit the like button if you have just kind of shown up here. That would be appreciated very much. I would appreciate that. Just to hit the like button. Let me know that you guys are VIPs, that you have shown up, or maybe I need to go back to the rooms and definitely go get some of those guys. So I would say that. Now, in terms of the entirety of this, guys, we're going to be watching on the micro, guys. We're going to be watching in the back. We're going to be doing that. I know a lot of the VIPs are right now on vacation, etc. And that's I wish you guys the very best in terms of on vacation. We streamed last night. We went over initial coin offerings. Not sure you guys got in on that, but VIPs had a nice stream on initial coin offerings, pre-market startup initial coin offerings. And for those of you VIPs that did miss it, I will make a private video for you. I will post it in the community tab. We will do that. But looking at pre-market, one of them went 100x within the last like 2 weeks, guys. It happened within the last 2 weeks, and within 48 hours it went 100x, right? So phenomenal price action, 100x. That's $100 into $10,000. So in terms of the, I'd say in terms of the guys, in terms of gate, you guys know you can scan the top left. That's $1,000 that you can actually trade with, guys. That's nice. That helps. That's interesting, right? That's a nice perk as we look at things. Yeah, that's really essentially what I wanted to cover tonight. I wanted to cover this descending wedge, guys, a bullish pattern. That's what I feel like is important. We discovered this really in the nuances of it last night. We really did some work on the stream, probably an hour or two of work. That's the level of work we want to put into things. It's not live. It's not talking about, well, we think this or we think that, in terms of just nothing. No, we're hammering into the technicals. I'm trying to do that because I know that your trades depend on it. I know that a lot of your holdings and your experience in crypto depend on it. That's important for me. I want you guys to have an awesome experience, right? We've had a great time at Crypto Kingdom. Absolutely. Jack Dorsey has shut us down just temporarily, right? Because I signed in with the wrong, the wrong credential in terms of my my phone, IP, etc. So anyway, that'll be back in 24, 48 hours. Not the first time it's happened. I'm not worried about that. We have migrated over to, and I'll just show you guys real quickly. We've migrated over to Bitcoin Spike. Now, that's mine. I've had that. You guys may not know that. I've just kind of unleashed this Bitcoin spike, okay, at the right time. I've had this. I've had different ones. I also had, during the run-up of Dogecoin, I had Doge holders, okay? I did. I had Doge holders, and we enjoyed that very much in terms of bringing that to the community, and that was a good time to hold, don't you think? Yeah, that was a nice, ultimately 100x, etc. So that was nice. So we had Doge holders, we had Bitcoin spike, just some different things to kind of bring to your attention and to kind of make sure that you guys are plugged in that way. So in terms of the overall characteristics of this, you do understand one nuance, guys. The nuance here, the part that no one likes. Okay, this is the part that no one likes because it involves a little bit of extra, I'd say, time. Definitely extra time, guys. But it's so worth it. Okay, it's so worth it in terms of the look at the micro on this. As we look at this, guys, the fact when I brought this to the attention, this small little ascending triangle hadn't even really fully formed yet, right? I brought this to the attention of VIP in the back, and guys, just look at this and how it just decided to curl back out. And what do we look for? We look for momentum. Bam. Yeah, that was the time to get in. We traded that, guys. We traded that. Now, I'm bringing up this small of a move. It's on the 5-minute chart, guys. The 5-minute chart we launched from this degree, believe it or not, from this degree of an ascending triangle. Truth, right? The 5-minute chart, guys. That's the level of attention that we pay to the market, guys. We paid to the market. That was a heavy accumulation level. That was, look at the price action, guys, since then. Look at the price action. It has gone up and up and up. So while we're, during the daytime, I want you guys to know in the back rooms, you guys are doing a great job in terms of staying abreast of the price action because anything can happen. Right now where we're at, it looks like we're trying to formulate, I'd say, a nice bull flag, guys, on the 5-minute. That's nice. Yeah, that's real nice. With this amplitude that we just recently achieved, that would put us up and out of this line of resistance that is a part, guys, that forms the descending wedge. Okay, that's a big deal, right? So as we plug into this, I'm glad you guys stuck around for a minute, because that's our real good news. And I wanted to get down to the nuance of this ascending triangle on the bottom, guys. I wanted to get down to the little detail just like that, guys, because this is the next little detail that we have on the this is on the hourly. It's even clearly visible. Now there's a little bit of a pattern, I'd say a lack of conformance on the pattern. We did form a descending wedge here to begin with. It has spilled down a bit, but we've done a nice recovery. I like to see that recovery. I know you guys in the back rooms are definitely. Let me talk about this. You guys are definitely doing a good job on this. Let's go to the candles and let's look at whether or not this bull flag is in a good state of conformance. Okay, let's look at this. If we're in a good state of conformance, now it kind of builds itself out on the, I'd say on this chart in terms of the full amplitude. What I want on a bull flag, you guys know this, we want to achieve multiple hits along the bottom and the top, so it's a clearly defined channel. Okay, a clearly defined channel that's downward sloping channel. That's what we want. Okay, we don't want it necessarily to look like this, okay, unless it were to extend a bit, but we also don't want it to extend it, right? We want it to hit down, up, down, up. So this little glitch in this in here is going to be a small glitch, and you guys who trade a lot, you're going to know this is some variation here that we don't necessarily want. Were these two tops here, were they, if they were completely parallel here, we would look at a cup and handle. Clearly, we always look for that the progression or the evolution of the patterns. You guys know that. And but it's still within a conformance, I'd say a level of conformance. If we go back to the 5 minutes, let's dig back into the 5 minute and take a look at, like for instance here, as we look at this pattern here, right? This is indicated, okay, with the original lines here. So yes, we can recoup and say, well, we're here now. However, we understand that that's a different pattern to start with. That was a descending wedge, which is bullish in and of itself, but it's frustrated on the upside right now in terms of the takeoff. Now, Bitcoin is known to do that, guys. It's known to it's difficult. It's definitely difficult to trade on futures. If you guys are in futures, it likes to snap back. It's got the backlash effect without a doubt, guys. So I'm just gonna say that. Just be careful if you guys are trading futures. I think they were just they decommissioned essentially in Europe. So. Yeah, from Binance took another hit, and they're no longer allowed in Europe. That's a big thing to pay attention to. That is what regulation looks like. Now, in terms of the entirety of the market, guys, we're in a bullish formation, right? We're excited about the price action. We just need to break above. We need this pattern to work out. We have this line of support here, guys. This is a previous line of resistance. Okay, we're going to say that's a line of support. All right, and we're going to want to go up above, clearly, guys, the line of resistance. You guys know that. Then we should be in the clear, right? I'm going to say then we should be in the clear. I'd say based on probabilities. We don't have any other barriers kind of ahead of us at that level. So, and congratulations to all you guys who are really trading well and doing a great job. It's just nice to see you guys last night in the stream that we did kind of late, guys. But our overseas friends, shout out to Kuda. What's up? That was nice to have you guys around for a bit. You just saw the level of technicals we go through, and we do it all day long. At the end of the day, sometimes we're just like, we got to get this. But that's what we do. Why do we do that? You see this line of resistance here on the descending wedge. We are just on the precipice, essentially on the precipice of trying to break through that with that small bull flag. We want to see that happen. You can see the curl up action here. It's like it knows it's restricted, guys, between that, was it 38.2? On the extensions, we just went through that 38.2 and the top level. If you guys hit the like button, that will let me know that you just shown up. I appreciate you guys that just did do that. But hit the like button. I'll go through the 38.2. I'll go through the this diagonal, this falling wedge, and we can go through the 5 minute time frame. I just feel it's so important to cover that, guys, because people don't know exactly what happened. They thought, well, okay, it was a line of support. It was a Fibonacci that was hit. No, this entire run up was literally was generated with the smallest of moves, guys, the smallest of patterns. Let's go back and just review that ascending triangle right there. That is what did this, guys. Beautiful. We brought that to the attention. Boom. VIP in the back. Boom. They had it. We got it. We were trading. Bam. We were on it. That is a new, guys. That is such a small move. You understand that? That's literally with it. That's an ascending triangle on Bitcoin, guys. At with a 200, essentially, what is that? A $283 differential, an amplitude of $283. We caught that, and I'm telling you, with 1, 2, 3 hits. We caught it. I caught it. And I was like, that's 3 hits. That's an ascending line right there. I want you guys to pay attention. Looks like an ascending triangle. Drew the lines out, got in the chart, and they were discussing a bear flag at that point, which I don't disagree with their charting techniques at all. We explored that, but I brought them the ascending triangle. That is what set this off. So when we're in the 5 minute, I want you guys to stay in these zones, because look at all this price action that people may not have been exposed to. Now you always want that lower price. Your profits are going to compound. The lower price you can get in. That's the level of specificity that we use, guys. That's what we target into. That's what we like to do. So that's proof. That's proof of who we are, guys. And you guys are that. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I couldn't do this without you guys in the back and you guys subscribing, everything else. I'm excited about Bitcoin. I've been saying the last few days, I think it's a good time to buy. If it does go down, guess what? You get to go give it back to the exchange, right? You guys make sure you sign up on Gate, and it's a real deal, guys. $1,000 in USDT. I asked them this and that. Well, how do you get the $1,000? Like, well, there's just a little reward center. You go in and you fill stuff out. It's like a real deal. It's like, that's pretty cool, right? It's $1,000. You can trade that on leverage if you want to. I don't recommend that. Just maybe do some spot trading. All right, just do some spot trading. I think you guys will definitely enjoy it. Are we going to break out of this bull flag right now? That would be a nice thing to cover live, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be great to cover on live, because we're doing that all the time in the back rooms. We're constantly paying attention to the price action. Now, in terms of how important that ascending triangle is on the bottom that you guys saw, that's worth like 40-45%, right? That's a big move. You got to get in then too. The lower your price, you guys know that you're able to get in, the higher your profits, right? You want that. When they say buy low, it's not just, well, buy kind of low. The lower you buy, the higher your profits. You guys know that. And so we're excited to be able to analyze things. It's the 5 minute. That's not too bad, right? We do look at the macro all the time, guys. We always scroll back out consistently to remind ourselves where we are. And in terms of this descending wedge, guys, we know what it's a bullish pattern. Yeah, let's just remind ourselves we are in a bullish pattern. Hello, that's nice. We're in a bullish pattern. And guys, what made that possible? The Bitcoin spike, right? This most recent spike. Now, the deal is, I've had the Bitcoin spike. We always want to be, that's when you want to catch it, right? It's just not easy. That's why we plug in with each other. That's why in the mornings we're like, hey, good morning, how's it going, right? The entirety of the team is like that. I mean, we're paying attention like that. We're like, we'll send the alert out of the back room. You guys know, it's like, yeah, we're paying attention to the small moves, because the small moves can catch on, and that's what can explode, guys. That's what makes trading. That, you guys know, you got to pay attention, to these things. So that was, look at the amplitude, look at the size of that move to the upside. Let's just revel in it for a bit, because having caught that, with you guys being a part of this, etc. It's exciting. This is awesome. This is a lot of fun. We couldn't dream of a story like, just a minuscule, a tiny little. Guys, come on, you have to give it to me and to yourselves. A minuscule baby little, and I understand it was there along the line of previous support, etc. I understand it was, it's kind of working into a lower level, but guys, it was just indicated, and we weren't anticipating, guys. I'd say we saw it happen, guys, and we were in real time. But in terms of this breakthrough, and I'll say, actually, we were anticipating. I had that red slide. You guys know that red slide diagram that I had given everyone? I was like, this is a red slide downward if it breaks a certain EMA. I'm like, so we were looking for a pour down. But in terms of it stopped, okay, and so stop losses, you guys understand that. A limit order, a trigger limit order, okay? When it reaches a certain price, bam, you enter the price. You just sell right under, just to make sure you don't lose an incredible amount of your, not financial advice, you guys know that. But you guys know what a stop loss order is. It was crucial during that move. We pay attention to the small moves, because we definitely believe that, guys, we just believe in maximizing your profits. I don't want anyone to have a bad day, or even kind of a bad day in trading. That's my goal, guys. I want you guys to have the most accurate information. In terms of this small little nuance, we can cover it again. We just did cover it, though. You guys know that. But in terms of picking it up lower, the lower we get, down to the nuance, in those technical trading applications or techniques, I say techniques that you can use, are just hugely important. And I look forward to you guys getting that $1,000. Guys, it's not like I'm promoting like this and that. I just want you guys to get the $1,000 on Gate. I want you guys to use the link, right? You can go to Bitcoin Spike. That's our new Twitter, and you can go there and you can hit that link. Make sure you hit that link and you qualify for 1,000 USDT. Like, you'll get $1,000 USDT. Isn't that cool? That's fun, huh? You guys want to trade? Yeah. Well, why don't you go over there? Why don't you get that link and why don't you start trading? Right? I mean, that sounds cool. If you've already signed up on Gate, you do have access to that 1,000 USDT. You have to just essentially, I think you have to. I sent you guys the link a few days ago. So and it's on. I think that's on the Crypto Kingdom right now. But right now we're on Bitcoin Spike because I messed up. I signed in from the wrong place. It thought I was someone else and it locked me out. And it says I'm suspended. I'm like, oh come on. It's like lock it for security purposes. Do something. But now everyone thinks, oh, you're suspended. I'm like, I'm not suspended. So anyway, it'll come back. This has happened before. That happened with Doge holders when I had Doge holders, but they got it back in 24 to 48 hours. They're just making sure it's me instead of who knows who. So I like that security. That's nice. So just recapping here, guys, this move to the upside. Just wanted to reinforce that $1,000 too. That's cool, huh? When you see it, like, hey, it's $1,000. That's gonna be fun. It's trade money, or just have fun with it, guys. Just do what you do. And I know you guys do what you do well. I'm excited about you guys having some extra float, do some extra day trading money, maybe. Maybe you have your big institutional cash or kind of your big reserve cash that you're really you're plugged in at the right levels, and maybe you have we got a little day trading money. We want to try and really work on those smaller time frames and really make sure that we're able to. The good thing about doing that, guys, when you're trading at the smaller levels, you're able to see once you get back in slower price action like this, you're able to see things so clearly and so smoothly. It is such, it just makes sense when you see a fallout of something. Like on the macro, you're like, well, that happens, maybe that happened like 5 times in the last week in your different trades. And the more you repeat those trades, the better you guys are going to be, right? And I just want you guys to be the best traders. I honestly want you to be the best traders that you can possibly be, guys. And so we're working towards that goal. As we look at this breakout, you guys know what this hinges upon right now. It hinges upon this small baby bull flag. Now, as you guys, if you haven't been here since the beginning, just understand, this is a classic. As we get into the hourly, I want to go to the hourly because I think it really represents very well kind of what we're looking at. And on the hourly, we have a real nice expression of a double bottom on the lines, guys. You see that? Yeah, we have a real nice expression, like almost to the T, guys, almost perfect. A small differential there, but that double bottom is indicated. Now, we are looking at a reversal, okay, a reversal pattern. If we can, guys, if we can conquer this, the only thing in our way right now is this descending wedge, guys. That resistance line, if we can crank through that, and it looks like we might, okay? So I'm just going to say, in bull trap to bull trap, go ahead and look at your bull traps, okay? And in terms of, just be aware of those. But, this is an interesting pattern. It's not fully formed. It's not fully formed. We would prefer it to be a little bit better, constituted a little bit more perfectly. But guys, in terms of the overall construction of things on the hourly or on the daily, etc., you're going to get some variation. You're going to get some chaotic lines. You're going to get that. If you can conform it generally, which we can in terms of a bull flag, and what's the requirement? A move to the upside, a nice move with some velocity, okay, some amplitude, okay, a nice measured move to the top, boom. Now it can be measurement if it's the previous, but I just say a nice measurable. Let's say a nice measurable move to the upside, something you can measure clearly and cleanly in terms of one line, okay? Why is that important? Because that's going to be the amplitude, or that's going to be the distance it's going to travel. Flags fly at half mast. You guys know that? Right, okay. So that's the saying. That's the technical expression of that. And just looking at this potential, we're just up against what I've drawn in terms of the existence of this. We might go to a smaller time frame to see exactly and confirm. And this is where we start hunting and going through the different time frames. Right. This is clearly indicated as we look at like the 5 minute. The 5 minute was what we use. The 5 or 3 minute is what I use in terms of that ascending triangle at the bottom to give the notification guys to and get the chart to VIP and say, hey, we might be moving up. True, right? Look at this. I love trading ascending triangles, guys. Ascending triangles, I just can tell you, as you look at patterns and you want to trade something, you're looking for that line of support that's ascending. You're looking for a flat horizontal, okay, a flat horizontal line of resistance. Sometimes it just takes 1, 2, and 3 and you're out, guys. It's just you want to see that buyers are in control, that you're establishing a higher low. And guys, that's when I normally bring that to the attention of the VIPs in the back. And I'm like, hey guys, check this out. And it's just good we focus on this because they, guys, in terms of paying money, guys, they really work out. They're really strong patterns. Okay, it means that a lot of buyers are there to resupport a higher level. They're willing to engage and push that price up. When they do that, when you're a part of that price action, I mean, you're just participating as a buyer along with the rest, guys. It's just they've just I don't want to say they just make money all the time, guys, but they're just very consistent. They're very consistent in terms of trading ascending triangles. We love trading them, guys. We just love trading. They're a lot of fun, and so are bull flags. When we get a nice conformance technically on an ascending triangle, it's just one of the strongest moves. That's one of the strongest trades that we've consistently traded for good profits in the back. I want you guys to know that we've consistently traded those ascending triangles, even on newer coins, even on things that you would think, well, maybe it's not technically as strong as maybe some of the other coins like Bitcoin or something. We do trade alts. You know, we're into that, guys. A lot of people I see the action today. A lot of people trading. I think was it Elon was trading today. You guys know that? I think Elon was trading. That was one of the coins I saw VIP in the back trading Elon. I was like, okay, cool. You know, they're into something. I saw the phenomenal results. It was up 100%, etc. Hey, very, very nicely done. I'm impressed that you guys were trading that when I got that information, and that's part of that data feedback that I get just to see what you guys are trading. It's very, very important to me to see what you're trading, and that's one of the mechanisms that's used in terms of that. In terms of what do we have here? Jose's in the house. Nice to see you, Jose. Definitely nice to see you. And William Carter, what's up? William, I think you're going to join. You got to join us, man. We just got the Bitcoin spike, and you guys saw that. You know, look at this. I love it, huh? The wings, right? With Bitcoin, join VIP, scan that if you guys want to join. And look at this, trade $100,000, free $1,000 on leverage 100x. It'd be a $100,000 trade. You guys can scan that in and just have fun with it, guys. It's Bitcoin Spike. That's our new deal. I really like it. Crypto Kingdom is really great, but it's kind of funny how alternatives find you. Look at this price action, guys. Look at the price action. It looks like it's about to potentially crawl up out of on that 5-minute, guys. It's wanting to do that. This is when I would refine my lines, and I mean I would refine them, guys. I want to make sure these lines are 100% perfect in terms of the different time frames, etc. Because if I do just drop this down just a moment, just a slight hair here, guys, it looks like from that previous high, and I'd be real careful of the different time frames, but it looks like we have potentially broken out, guys, of a bull flag formation. Just a slight breakout of a bull flag formation. I would definitely pay attention right now as you're looking at potentially getting involved in a trade. Now we're gonna look at this. I said potentially broken out, okay? Because we're gonna look at this and we're gonna really redefine, you know, exactly what we're looking at. We need the downward sloping channel, right? We need this downward sloping, downward express channel here. It's not a perfect conformance, but we do have 1-2 hits along the bottom. We don't have the full, measure of the hits along the top that we would want. This is kind of an empty space here. It might incline people, guys. It might incline people understand the way that a bull flag will work. You want those hits along the way here because the pattern conformance will prohibit people, guys, or it will prevent people, hopefully, from looking at, well, instead of the bull flag, while we had a real nice run up, and you guys looking at your trades, right, looking at your trades, both on the macro and the micro, this affects definitely the macro, particularly if we can get out above this line of resistance of the descending wedge. Now, what a lack of conformance will do here, guys, it will get traders like myself and you, it will get us to start looking at a different pattern that may be forming. We may say, well, it looks like potentially we may be involved in somewhat of a cup and handle, right? It also looks like we could potentially be involved in an ascending triangle, right? Copy that. It looks like we may be involved in an ascending triangle. Now, we would want to do a little bit of differentials on this in terms of, I'd say, definitely kind of ready to go time. The one thing that I don't necessarily perfectly see, and we'll want to make this exact. We'll want to do this on different time frames. Let's look at this, guys. This is important. There's a potential ascending triangle on a breakout up above the line of resistance on the descending wedge. Okay, we're going to want to take a good look at this and see whether or not it can conform, and maybe using that to break out of the flag formation. I'm not 100% crazy about the flag formation. Right now, it has some deficits. It doesn't surprise me that it's trying to formulate some sort of an ascending triangle. Guys, it's an ascending triangle. It just is. We enjoy trading these very much. This is something the market is paying attention to right now. All right, it is. I'm going to tell you that. Traders are looking at this right now. I'm going to look at that's the 5-minute. As I look at the 3-minute, let's go ahead and diagnose this. Let's look into Okay, let's look into this. Now we have stutter stepped up through this. This is what I was afraid of. These small nuanced moves, guys. As you look at the differentials, when we talk about confirmation, it's not just the movement of the price action. We look at the different time frames. You want to know, how do we catch the bottom of this with an ascending triangle? All right. Now I want you guys to see on the 3-minute, what's the level of, I say, a divergence. We have a divergence in the price action. Why? Because look at this, just this ever so slight capitulation here in terms of, or I'd say this, yeah, it is a capitulation in terms of a failure of the buyers on the 3-minute chart to, and guys, you need to understand on the 3-minute chart, what does that mean on the 3-minute chart? There are traders who are trading the 3-minute chart, right? Yes. So those traders who are trading the 3-minute chart, believe it or not, they have their specific take zone, right? They're establishing essentially, and with the confluence of the other time frames, but they're the ones that are putting their price targets based on the 3-minute chart. Now, it winds up being a mixture of that, right? But as we look at this, do you see how it turns into kind of a wedge formation? It does. Okay, so that's a little bit less predictable in terms of the movement to the upside. It's a contraindication. It's a divergence. Okay, it's something that's not going or in a confluent manner. So there's not an overlap. There's not a consistency between the 5-minute and the 3-minute. As we put money or capital into something, we want it to take hold when it's the highest probability trade possible. You guys understand that, right? Yeah, we want all the time frames to look perfect. Now, that's not always practical, but we do just at least the next level of, we do definitely do that next level of just kind of basic homework, guys. It's like, what's the 5-minute, what's the 3-minute? You know that. This is a perfect example of that. Now, this middle portion right here is kind of a, let's say, an intermittent barrier. And I was looking at it, I was like, there must be some reason why it's not going off right now. You guys know that, like, looking at the 5-minute, because the 5-minute's clean. And what's not clean about this, we have a lower level low here in the middle. Okay, it compromises this flat top, on the ascending triangle. One of the strongest things you can trade, guys. We need that flat line of resistance on top. Okay, we need that very well respected. The take, right? We need that take from the buyers. They need to take at that moment and power back in and create this and let everybody know they're there. Okay, sometimes they're just not there. If the buyers aren't there, they're not in control, etc. That's just the way things work. So this lower intermediary touch along the top side here is crucial, guys. This lower, it gives it a downward angle. That's not what we want on an ascending triangle. It's no longer an ascending triangle, right? Interesting, right? I think it's very interesting. So we would start to look, and this is what happens with traders, why it's inconsistent, why buyers get divided in moments like these. They will start to look at different patterns. They'll start to look at different levels of conformance or levels of divergence, etc., amongst the time frames. Let's go back to the 5-minute. I want to show you guys again how this seems to conform quite well on the 5-minute. I mean, it's quite perfect. In fact, guys, it just, if you see, now you see that in the middle. You see that? You see the differential there? Do you see the 2 points that are perfectly aligned? That is what you need on the ascending triangle. This is why the holdup. You're like, well, what's going on with the price? It's because the 3-minute chart is off from the 5-minute chart. And there are people trading on both. When they dig down into 3-minute versus, let's say, the 1-minute, we can look at the 1-minute, could have a drastic degree of variation, right? Now, we're also up against a line of resistance that's been established, I'd say, by this intermediary high here. And that's okay. That's okay. Now, let's see, what would we go? I don't want to go too nuanced into the smaller time frames because, guys, that's where I start to lose people. I start to lose you guys in terms of, well, you want to look at the macro. You want to understand what's going on. This is the macro right now because this is trying to break out while we're nuanced into a smaller time frame. We're trying to break out above a macro resistance line. Okay, I'd say a big picture resistance line. This bullish pattern that we're currently in. And I have this line extended. I don't need to have that extended. I'll go ahead and take that off for the time being, and I will draw a rough line here just to make sure that we're on par. I will draw that from this intermediary peak, essentially the 64,863.10. $64,863.10, right? You guys know that. So in terms of that, that's the macro pattern that we're in. Guys, we have achieved, a hit along this line of resistance, right? We slammed into this line of resistance twice up top. We have formulated this line of support on bottom. We've come back up and we've hit the line of resistance on top. Amidst that, we also have this pattern formation here on the hourly, again on the hourly, guys, that has formulated a double bottom. The hourly is important. It's a great time frame, and this is something that we will not forget that we have covered, is that there on the hourly we achieved a double bottom. Guys, it's just perfectly what you want is you want a real consistent, and they do talk about a variability. It's a perfectly formed structure when you have just a lateral horizontal, perfectly horizontal line. You guys can do that just on TradingView. You guys know, go into, essentially hover over the peak, or I'd say the pivot. Let's say the pivot, and it could be a peak on a double top, or it can be, let's see here if I can do this right there. Alt H will show you exactly the degree or nature to which you're in conformance with, and it's just real close. It's just real close here. You did learn, you ran into this line of support, guys. So that it kind of interrupted, but that's real close. I mean, I would say, people discuss how close they need to be in terms of a double top or a double bottom. That's a point of discussion. Is it 1%? Is half a percent okay? It's just a level of technical conformance that is either there or not. If it is there to the degree it is perfectly there, it gives people more assurance. So that's what we build into, I'd say, into things. Now, in terms of this move, you guys know that was nicely indicated. You guys understand, we, at what point, do we reach this area here wherein we are on the, let's say on the macro. Let's go ahead and go to the daily. We're on the macro. We are expressing ourselves with the with the descending wedge, which is bullish, right? And right now we have forced up into, and just beautifully, guys, drawing the price up into a lot of profits being made, guys. A lot of profits. Very happy with VIPs, guys. When I hear someone got in at 30, I'm like, yes, right? That's just, I'm so excited. When I was able to say, like, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, and people bought, not financial advice, but the technicals were there, right? So that's just so exciting for me to hear that, and I know it makes a difference, right? It really does. It makes a difference. So I'm excited that we're experiencing gains. You guys are doing so well, and yeah, this area right here, it is just like, it's a strong area. There's going to be a lot of action right in the next, I'm going to say in the next, we can measure it out. You guys want to measure this out? Now, in terms of when people do timing, right, you may want to know how they do timing. When you draw your trend lines, right, when you draw your trend lines, you're going to be able to hit the ruler, guys, and you're going to just say, well, okay, currently we're at this point right here. Let's look at the maximum time that we could go on this is in between. Oh gosh, guys, it could be a while. I want to talk to you about that. It could be a while. Let's look at this. Now, if we were to move straight up, if we were to move straight up, it could be a short amount of time. But within here, guys, we could look at a day. Believe it or not, we could look at another day. We could look at another 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Look at this, guys. We could be another, believe it or not, we could maintain above this line of support. That's essentially, we've broken through the line of resistance, okay, and we're changing it into support. We're in the process of that. But, guys, we could go out, believe it or not, we could go out another 11 days and still be even further than that, okay? But we could go out another 11 days if this wanted to frustrate sideways. In the midst of that, it would break the trend line. So if we wanted to maintain this trend line, I'll say, a rough estimate here, if we wanted to maintain that trend line, guys, we have a day to do that. Okay, now it could frustrate immediately to the downside, but I would say we have this next day zone in here. I'll just say that. Let's plug this up. We have the next day to 2 days to immediately to get through this. So if you guys are looking at paying attention, okay, to the market just for maybe a minute or maybe a couple days, this would be the day or two to pay attention. As you see this is a day or two right in here. I'm on the daily chart, okay? So it's a good time to pay attention, guys, and we're definitely hard at work in the background. Trying to bring you guys charts and working very hard at the charts, guys. Working very hard at the charts. I know it's not fun to see, but guys, I love these books. I just do. I've had them since high school. I don't know why. Like New York Institute of Finance books, I've just had them since high school. I don't know. Maybe that makes me uncool, right? It's possible. It is very possible. I'm willing to more than explore that possibility. I'm sorry if it makes me uncool. If it makes me right in the market, I'm game, right? We're gonna do it. That's what I want to do. And it's a lot of you guys are cool enough for me. I'll say that in terms of, like, if I'm not, I'm sure you are a little bit extra, and that's just the truth. I love being around you guys. You're some bad dudes and great girls. I'll say that, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely. So as we look at this, guys, that's what's going on the next day to 2 days, and that's measured out. That's as refined as we can get these lines here. And it's just, it is a bullish pattern. I'm so excited to say that. Understand kind of the nuance of this as we look at this bullish pattern, quote unquote, right? Now, this is supposed to be a continuation pattern. we have achieved a huge trajectory to the upside. Bitcoin has, has achieved its, its own, as all the altcoins have done, what they have done. Just remind yourselves, and let's look at this, guys. Remind yourselves that Bitcoin achieved a 850x, an 8x, guys, 8x in a year. Okay, that's like more than that, really. We're going to be at like a 10x. Let's really measure this out. What Bitcoin achieved. Okay, about 890, 830. We didn't catch the low on this chart, but guys, if we go all the way back to March of last year, 8x. That's enough, guys. Within, I'd say, about a year time frame, 8 times your money. Like that's phenomenal, guys. That's something that we're going to pay attention to in terms of price action. There's no reason not to. And the trading environment is nice. Sometimes a little sluggish, sometimes a little off. You guys know in the back rooms, we're able to kind of gauge that. We feel that. We're able to express that. Well, these patterns aren't working out right now. It seems like they're breaking down quite a bit, a little bit of contraindications in terms of the level of reliability that you have in the market. We want it to be reliable. We want the market, we want Bitcoin to be a strong technical, a real strong technical trading environment for you and for me. If I did not feel that it was a strong technical environment, I would not be trading it nor talking to you about it. Understand that, guys. Okay, that's important that I'm gauging that all the time. And so you guys do see a new look to the station today, and that's just, guys, we're Bitcoin Spike. What's up? We called the bottom of it. We're at the top. Go to Twitter. All you VIPs or base campers, go to Twitter, Bitcoin Spike. I'd like to do some shout outs. Do we have any shout outs to do? Yeah, we do. Steve Hinton in the house. What's up, Steve? Nice to see you, brother. Very nice to see you. Look at this background. Look at the trading setup Steve has. I love that trading setup. That is just phenomenal. You guys see that? That is just huge. Now, Steve has just powered in. I'm going to go ahead and put him in and you guys see how this works. I want you guys to pay attention. I'm going to go ahead and put him into the Bitcoin, okay, into our Bitcoin VIP DM right now. Bam, he's in. Steve, welcome, brother. Nice to have you in Bitcoin Spike DM. It's VIP, guys. You guys know that. As the exclusive charts, that's the exclusive, guys. That's where we found the bottom here. That's literally where I found the bottom of this move to the upside, guys. This small ascending triangle, I found that, and I was like, hey, guys, check this out. This is supposed to break up to the upside. You guys know that. And that's where I found that. That's where I gave them the information, is that back room. It's exclusively for VIPs, guys. That's what you get for the $100, and I think you guys are. I mean, I know you've made. I know it's worked out for you. Hey, that's good, huh? And you could be watching a lot of different channels and being a part of a lot of different groups, but it's just a big deal for you guys to be a part of my group and be a part of your group. I'm going to say that I'm but a very small portion of that. You guys know that in terms of everything that goes on, and I appreciate that every day that you guys make up the bulk of the team. Right? You are the bulk of the team. You are the team. So thank you for letting me be a part of it. Thank you sincerely. I really appreciate that. And as we look at this, it's just we have a few different factors going on. Again, the next day to two is going to be crucial. We do have this double bottom indicated. I do want to reinforce that as much as I want to reinforce the new name change or whatever we're going through. Like, it's just, we honestly can't go. I don't know if Twitter did me a favor when maybe, I don't know, subconscious, I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I signed in for something different. I shouldn't have signed in, different phone number, etc. And it kicked me off of Twitter. You guys know we always use Twitter. You guys do too. It's like, yeah, Twitter's cool. You guys maybe use Reddit or Telegrams, whatever else you use. But it kicked me off, and I'm like, well, you can't kick me off. And it said, I'm suspended. I've been suspended like that before. It's just for security purposes. They sent me something. It looks like someone else logged in. No, it was me. So it takes them a few days to process. So I'm not worried about it. It's like, this has happened before. It'll clear itself up 24 to 48 hours. But in the meantime, I'm like, I have Bitcoin Spike. That's cool. And I also used to have Doge holders, right? I used to have Doge holders. That was my group. It was a good group. And I stopped, when we started trading, I stopped that. We went into the high, and I'm like, well, no more Doge holders, right? I'm just, because it was the expressed high. I didn't want people to lose money, etc. So we went into sell mode at the top, buy low, sell high. You guys know that. There's nothing wrong with that. We're looking for another run on Doge. I'm going to tell you guys we're looking for that, okay? Because Doge has been underperforming. Doge doesn't like to sit around and underperform forever. You guys know that. It likes to sit around, be patient, and it likes to reward people who sit there and hold. Okay, so people who've been accumulating, I know a lot of people in VIP, and that's not an endorsement right now. I'm not going to endorse it. I'm going to let Elon do that with his shades. I like those shades with the Doge in the background. We have a lot of fun with that. Guys, are we breaking out? Have we broken out? Looks like we've broken out, guys. I know you're watching that on your screens. You guys prepared? You're ready? You trading? As I talk about Doge breaking out, what do we got? A reconfirmation. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay, let's take a look at this, guys, because it's a breakout with a what? That's interesting. We've been talking about the pattern formation here, etc. Let's see this. Let's see where we went to, and let's go ahead and gauge this. I know the guys in the background. This is one thing when I stream. It's not always like sometimes I'm talking, etc. Ouch. I'm gonna say ouch. Okay, I see what did happen. Ouch. I'm glad. Did we miss it? No, I don't think so, guys. Why? Because to get this one, you would have had to measure from the middle point, right? You would have had to measure from the middle point. That is not. That's not a fair move necessarily with Bitcoin. So no, I didn't. Well, we did. Well, you didn't. Maybe some of you were the ones who took. Did you guys take? Don't know. Now, what we're seeing here, now that I'm looking at the candles, look at this. This is what we're seeing here is another level, I'd say another express level, maybe potentially of the channel. Again, what's occurred? We have the improperly formed, copy that. We have the improperly formed ascending triangle. You see what happens? Now, people got in, tried to trade it with big money, etc. It's dangerous. You understand that I brought you, and guys, this may be a better trade here. You may be already in it and in the money. That's fine if you are. Beautiful job if you're still in the money on this. The fact that it's recapitulating, you want to stay definitely alert to this next move to the upside. You don't want to miss it. I just wouldn't want people to get in and miss this and get into this emotional tug of war, etc. Everyone has different brackets. Right now, the bracket is riding. Okay, so when we talk about day trades, guys, we have side money. It's like, give me another cigar. All right, give me another cigar. No problem. Right, we're going to, cut another cigar. Let's roll. Right, let's day trade. That's what we do. But individuals who play with heavier money, particularly on options, that's when I talk about no options, guys. It's just in terms of how people get burned, right? People just got skunked on this with an option, right? Now look at this. Well, let's just trade this. Nah, it didn't do it, guys. It did not do it. Let's measure it on the candlesticks. It didn't do it. They took early. They took early. Right? They took early. Why? Because it's contraindicated. You guys see how that plays? I'm sorry I didn't get to trade that. Would have been fun. We trade these all day long, guys. We've been trading all day long. Again, with the bracket, the heavier cash kind of riding this uptrend. Day trade, we want to trade. We want to book positive trades. We love that, guys. We love booking 5, 10 trades a day. Boom. We get excited in the back rooms. We have a good time. So we look at this, guys, and this is more interesting in terms of the potential. And we'll go down to the 3-minute or the 1-minute time frame just to show you the price action, what's going on. That's a 3-minute. Let's go to the 1-minute. It did underperform. If you guys were on options, I would not have wanted to be on options. So it is a move, guys. We have, we talked about brackets sufficiently earlier on in terms of getting that to the group, making sure you guys understand, like, the bracket is that large portion that's just riding up, right? It's just riding up this wave. So I'm not worried about missing a trade, right? It's riding up, alarms, alerts, etc. in terms of stop losses are set. I'm sure with you guys. So it's like if I miss a trade, that's okay. Can we get on the next one, right? I'm okay. It's like, for me, it's booking a trade. It's still money, right? It's still fun, but it's more important for me to kind of discuss things with you guys. So as we look at that, I don't want to miss anything, but in terms of that, an opportunity for you guys to trade while we're talking, etc. I know the guys in the back are doing it. Steve, I'm glad that you got in to that VIP room, because I know they're trading in the back right now. That's nice. So we're kind of chit-chatting while that is going on. You guys, did you shout out in there? Did you shout out in the chat and tell me, hey, something's going on? Matic is at a 9-week last week, up 9%. Yeah, Matic was up 9%. You guys know Rune was up what? I brought you guys Rune. Hello. It was up 90% in the 6 days since I brought it to you. Hello. And 90%. What's up? Yeah, you're like, we got it. Huh? I know, but and some of you do. Like, no, we do have it. And maybe now you have it. But I was like, do you know who I got that information from? Do you have any idea what I went to? Just good people. Good people with solid, backgrounds, etc. So that was a nice one. And, it's not, it's nice to have a position that's carrying right now for you guys. And I know, like, Mitchell's one who's like, I've been carrying since 30. So we really started talking about pushing it, etc. It looked like it was going to move to the upside. I know Mitchell's one who he's got, he's got a little heavyweight portion of him. And it's like, well, that's fine, and we'll still trade. We'll still have fun. If I miss a trade, that's all right. You know how many trades I have today? I'm fine, guys. I had my fill of trades. We had fun earlier on today, and yeah, we had a good time. I booked a trade right before I got on here. So that's fun for me, and I know it's fun for you guys as well. We can trade live at any point in time. We have a good time doing that. You guys know that we have a blast doing that. We'd like to see something just rip through this. Now, this is an interesting point in terms of, like, do you guys have? I'd be interested to know. Do you guys have a limit order on the sell side right now set up along this line? I know a lot of people that do. Just so you know, I have a lot of people that do. The institutional framework, and I want to talk about this. It's been so consistent along the EMAs. Please let this register. Okay, it's been so consistent along the EMAs, okay, the exponential moving averages, and it just walking up the EMAs. As you guys look at that, guys, that's very indicative of program buying. You guys understand that? Yeah, that's very indicative of program buying. When you see this straight march up along, and it's just going to be, that's on the daily. Let's look at the hourly. It's going to be a little bit, as we look at this, guys, the EMAs are just running rampant through this price action. It will essentially just fall back into EMAs. We can set those up. Let me see if I have EMAs on a different chart here for us to look at. Let me go ahead and add the EMAs. You guys know how to do that. I'm going to show you the best EMAs to add. You guys want to see the best EMAs? Let's go through it real quickly. Price action, if you guys want to, I don't know if you want to see live trading, if you guys want to go through that, we can definitely do that on the lower time frames. You guys want to see the EMAs, or you want to see the live trades? You guys tell me in the chats. Tell me if you want to see the live trades or you want to see the EMAs, walking up the EMAs. We can do either one you want to. I'd rather at some point give you guys the best EMA to use is crypto, like Crypto Kingdom it was. Now we're Bitcoin spike, but the EMA that's the best for you guys to use on there is called crypto with a K. It'll say EMAs and it'll say crypto. Author is crypto with a K, okay? We're still Crypto Kingdom. You guys know that. But we do have Bitcoin spike. So in terms of the price action, this programmed buying, okay, it's indicative of literal program buying, literal, orders entered, strategies entered, and just heavy institutional levels of cash, etc. This is not typically a retail thing that you're looking at here, just in terms of the difference between an institutional versus a retail investor, right? We individuals would constitute kind of a retail, kind of the public version of buying. When you see this type of a move up along the EMAs, that's institutional, guys. That's program trading. That's literal just pounding through. And there's two options with that. I want to discuss this with you. I thought of this earlier. I think it's important to cover this. There's a few different options that we can look at. I think two primary ones. One is that institutions like JP Morgan that are just going to offer this to the wealth management division, their clientele, their wealth management clientele, either they are accumulating, okay, and they're buying into and accumulating, or, okay, in anticipation of that, or that's already coming really into fruition, and I don't get into their business. Okay, we have JP Morgan analysts, ex-analysts, etc. I don't get into their business, guys. I have friends around here, JP Morgan. I don't get into their business for you, so that you know there's no insider information here at all, okay? But in terms of what I know about the industry, there's two options they would have. One is accumulating, okay, and having their clients accumulate, which is expressed by this price action. Two is entering into program trading, which an institution would definitely do, and looking at how can they trade it for profit? What is the best strategy within their house as maybe they're training, okay, to work with crypto, because those guys don't handle crypto, right? JP Morgan, you guys handle crypto better than they do. So as you would look at that, this may be an exercise of an input to capital and another expression. And guys, we're in a bullish formation. That's not going to change. Okay, we're in a bullish formation. If we capitulate off this line of resistance, guys, what's nice is that we have a measured. I'd say we have the. Let's go into the daily. We can go to the daily. We have the details in terms of what the expectations are of the pricing. We haven't exactly had that during the entirety of this consolidation. It's been very frustrating. We have not had that. Now we have that. We have a confined pattern, right? That's huge. Now, as I talk about JP Morgan, again, there may be some accumulation institutionally going on by these wealth management individuals who haven't had access to crypto. Maybe that's the driving force. We got the news, was it about maybe 7 to 10 days ago, in terms of JP Morgan saying, yes, we're going to offer it to their big clientele, guys, their wealth management division. So that could be what's being expressed, or there could be, and I'm not going to bring any insider information, it could be also, we want to know kind of how this is going to trade, because those traders at JP Morgan, they do not have experience trading Bitcoin. I'm sure they've trained, I'm sure they've gone through it, but they haven't offered Bitcoin. So this might be an opportunity either for accumulation, okay, which our group has done. Our group has done, not collectively as a group. We're going to do this absolutely, but individuals in our group definitely have listened to the technicals, and me on stream, you as well, saying, hey, it's a good time to buy. I don't say that unless the technicals are there, guys. Unless there's a defendable argument that the technicals are there. We've been in a downtrend. So for me to say that when people are counting on what we say is a big deal for me. I know you guys take that as a big deal as well in terms of the information that you receive. I try and keep it as professionally geared as possible. It's just I know it's important to you in terms of your holdings. Believe that. I know that from the heart, guys. So in terms of this, like the pattern I brought at the bottom, in terms of the expressed resistance here, I'll just tell you guys, it's the two options. One, they're accumulating. Two, they want to start trading. They need to test out their traders. Understand, this is institutional framework of thinking. They want to get into, and now if they were good enough, they could trade it on the way up. Okay, if they were good enough, they could trade it on the way up. A lot of you can. A lot of you that are members of the VIP, a lot of you subscribers, etc., a lot of you can trade this on the way up. They may not be able to, guys. They may not work with Fibonacci's, or they may not work with charting patterns, all of them, etc. They may just be in the business of we have VIP level, right? They may be in the business of wealth management, right? In terms of, well, sir, we'd like to tell you about your portfolio, etc. I won't guess at how that works with them, but they're not necessarily day trading. They're not necessarily like working a bond desk, working through the ins and outs of negotiating a position very quickly. They're not doing that. So crypto moves more quickly. This could be, as we walk into this area here, this line of resistance, just understand the two options that I see. One is a breakthrough. Okay, one is the breakthrough. The second is a take here. And what would you do? Put yourselves in their shoes. What would you do if you were J.P. Morgan, or BlackRock, and you have trillions of dollars, okay, under management, et cetera? You want your traders to learn, and you've got a collective enough money to push the market around just a little bit, right? I would say maybe just a little bit. Like Elon, when Elon entered with $1 billion, $1.5 billion, he just a little bit had the ability to do that. The way that they'll do that in-house, you guys know this, they'll issue buy and sell recommendations. They just will. The same way we would look at this, guys. An institutional brokerage house would look at this and say, well, this week we're bullish on Bitcoin, but yeah, we're running into a line of resistance. They'd probably get a little, sheet, a little bit, a little. I'd say they get a sheet in the morning, a report in the morning. They're like, oh, okay, so this is out the door today. Okay, well, we can maybe they can start to do that. Right? So if they start to do those types of things, that's important for us to realize that they may be training in that regard. I'm going to bring that up. Now, long-term potential, et cetera, guys, we're very, very comfortable with Bitcoin. I like the fact we're in a bullish pattern. I'm not denouncing, I'm not talking down at all, but I want to bring you a little bit, guys, because I've worked in finance, all right? And it's not financial advice at all, but I want to let you guys know I've worked with some big dogs, right? Some tycoons, etc. And I understand kind of the framework that goes on behind the scenes a little bit. And you guys do too. I know you do. And you may have the same types of considerations. You may have the same types of considerations where you're saying, well, I've made so much profit here. It's been phenomenally profitable. I'm comfortable with this take because I've made so much profit. It's a decision for you to make, and you're going to watch the breakout, right? You want to watch the breakout and be like, well, I'm comfortable with the 30% or the 40% I just made. I mean, maybe I put in a large amount of money. I'm comfortable with that. Now I'd like to kind of maybe I'll take a breather, right? Maybe I'll take a breather. We'll see what happens. Until it's indicated, until the trend is broken, there's not a reason to sell. I'll just say that unless you want to capitalize on the move between, I'd say, any kind of divergence or lift you have away from the EMAs that have been supporting this, guys. Just beautiful program trading. Anytime it has bounced back to the trend line, you have gotten another thrust to the upside. You guys know that. That's important, right? That's hugely important in terms of the levels of consistency that we've seen. It's phenomenally important. Now, we watch these nuanced levels. A lot of you guys have Bitcoin writing right now. You do. You have Bitcoin writing. The way that the day trades would work out, it looks like right about here right now. Okay, now this is where you get into the nuance, the fact that the bull flag has not been perfectly formed. You wind up with something that looks kind of like this. Okay, you get traders that are drawing trend lines between any reasonable points that they can connect, and you're seeing this is what happens when you get a poorly formed bull flag. They're using this pre-existing, this previous intermittent periodic price action here and here, because it's not a fully formed bull flag. We have this caveat here. So it's gotten a lift and it's gotten a line of resistance in line with, and this is just day trading. This is the nuances of day trading. Okay, this is, we've hit a line of resistance in line with a previous angulated trend line of resistance. Now it's on the micro, guys. The micro makes a difference. You guys know that, and I'm just going to bring this up one more time, guys. The micro makes a difference. All that price action we just went through, like this, one more time to discuss it, guys. This ascending triangle, right? It took one of these at the bottom to traject the entirety of this price action, the entirety of the 45% move. I brought this to your attention in the back rooms, the VIP in the back rooms. This, when it was only formed with one hit and two hit, just the ascending line here and this flat line top, I was like, this is a ascending triangle, and look at it, just screamed to the upside. So when I talk about the pattern formations on the 5 minute and how important they are, well, it's a maybe a poorly formed, and look at all this price action we have to go through to get here, guys. It's phenomenal. In terms of the pattern formation here, it's that critical that it be well formed. It's that critical, as it was on the bottom, guys. In terms of and hopefully it'll be the double bottom that'll be recognized on the hourly. It's very well expressed. You guys look back at that. We covered that earlier on. If you're new to the channel this evening on the stream, please hit the like button so I know you showed up, and I'll be able to cover the pricing targets that we covered early on. In terms of the detailed nuances of what's trading right now and the condition and the macro of Bitcoin, understand that the small nuances make a big difference. A big difference, like what launched this entirety of the 45%, guys. This 45% move to the upside was a small baby. I mean, a tiny on the 5 minute, guys, or on the 3 minute, a small, this big that you're seeing on your screen. We're on the 3 minute. That launched all of this. Very nice, right? Very, very nice. So this move is critically important. This is a huge move right here. The fact that it has established this line of resistance right here is a big deal, okay? The fact that we have an imperfectly formed bull flag is to take into consideration when you look at your holdings, and I know that you guys do technicals. I know that you guys do that. As we would look at this pattern, I don't want this necessarily to turn into, but I am looking at least in the interim, and it's nothing that's going to upset the entirety of the flow right now as we're trying to break through the line of resistance on the descending. Let's go through that again on the descending, okay, descending wedge. You guys see that beautifully defined. What do we have? We have a slam into, this is on the daily of Bitcoin, guys. We have this slam into a nicely defined line of resistance, okay, which has been completed with the most recent move. That's where we're stuck right now. We're stuck just on the inside of that line of resistance. It's just proven to be just that much that we're going to hesitate before we get through it, guys, if we can get through it. Now, the breakout, that is a nice time to add a position, technically speaking. That is a time, if you read the resource materials, the breakout of this is, yes, it is a time to add. Now, we might look at confirmation. We might look at the confirmation, not just of the pricing, not just of the behavior of the pricing, but we would also look at and reassess the RSI, the MACD, stochastics, the volume. We would want to look at all of those issues, okay? We are on a run of green in terms of candles, in terms of profits. That is really, guys, it was unimaginable, just a short period ago. It started with a very small, nuanced move. We have broken out of what is going to be looked back on at the 1 hourly level, okay, at the 1 hourly level of a potential, guys, and very clearly expressed on the 1 hour, guys, very clearly expressed double bottom right here. That's impossible to miss. You guys got that, right? Absolutely. That's on the 1 hourly time frame. Beautifully expressed. We have this top level, guys. If you read John J. Murphy, New York Institute of Finance, I do. You don't have to. I'll read it for you. Deal? Let me be the bookworm, all right? Let me be the bookworm. But on page, and I just want to tell you, page 119 covers this exact pattern. Look at your screen. Look at this. Do you see the double bottom? It looks like you took a carbon copy, guys, of this and stuck it in the book. Page 119. You guys check that out. I'm happy to do the research. I'm a research just nut. I love research. I love knowing the answers to things. I don't like doing research, public research on Google, etc. I like to do research in the stacks. I like to go to the libraries. I like to find out the real answer, right? That's if there's a difference of opinion, I want to know. So this double bottom, guys, is beautifully expressed on the 1 hourly time frame, guys. It's beautifully expressed on the 1 hourly, and that's a beautiful. That's just a nice chart, guys. On the 1 hourly, we respect the 1 hourly very much. Now, what we're looking at is something that I'm going to say needs to be beat, okay? Or there's going to be a recapitulation, in my opinion, back down to the EMAs, back down to the exponential moving averages. Now, in terms of what needs to be beat right now, I don't want to formulate into something that looks like, and it looks like we're really testing that. I'm going to go down into the lower time frames because it looks like, yeah, we really are testing that with an ascending wedge. And now those are typically bearish, but yeah, it's breaking out, guys. It's trying to break that line right now. You'd want to get through that. You don't want it to be a bull trap, guys. You don't want it to turn into a bull trap and this move to the upside and then just recapitulate real strongly. What we would ideally like in this moment is to achieve a price action in terms of your entry. See this? You see this movement? Wham, wham. That's people getting in too early. Guys, getting in too early. Now, a lot of people are riding with heavy positions at Bitcoin. You guys know that. That's nice. That makes this diagnostic very relaxed kind of state for us. Very exciting when you can book positive trades. Maybe you have some kind of trade money on the side, right? Maybe you enjoy that enough. It's like, we're going to trade, we're going to beat this market. And but you see the hitch is right on top of the trend line. That's important. Let's go ahead and redefine these lines. Let's redefine these lines. I think we drew them on the 3-minute versus the 5-minute. We're going to sit with this a moment and look at the expression on the 3-minute. Let's look at the 3-minute. Now look at the variability you have on the 3-minute versus the 5-minute. This 3-minute is going to be differently expressed in terms of your trend line on the 3 versus the 5. People trade differently. They'll trade the 5-minute, trade the 3-minute. Some will trade the 10-second. Okay, hello, how you guys doing? I'll trade the 10-second all day long. I have a good time doing it. We're seeing a breakout of a trend line, an attempt to conquer this channel, and I'll say a potential, guys. We would really have preferred this to be more of a. We would prefer different pattern formation, but it's just nice. You guys are probably trading right now. I know the guys in the back room and the VIP. You guys are trading, having fun, right? Yeah, you're working this, right? And you understand the idea of brackets, right? Money or your holdings in brackets. Well, so much Bitcoin right now is in a bracket, right? That's boom, that's there. But in the meantime, we have enough price action. We're trading, right? We're day traders. We love trading, guys. We just love it so much. There you go, your little price action. Now, I'd like to see that definitely express. I'm going to pick the 3-minute. I'm going to pick the 3-minute and literally go to the magnets right now. That's didn't change at all, really. That's right on there. So we're breaking through that trend line, okay? Now the question is going to be, can you formulate can you break through and achieve of the previous resistance? Can you break through? Can you re-achieve the previous resistance as support? That's going to be key, right? And you want to do this as the price is moving up. I'm going to say that you would get one here. I'm going to say you would get one. You would expect one here. If not, it would be a lower probability trade. Okay, let's see if you get one. I'm just going to say if you get one. Now, it may scream to the upside. If it starts to scream to the upside, for me, it's still a low probability trade. Okay, now to the extent that we back off of it, let's back off of it altogether, because this should give it, though. It just should. This should give the reconfirmation. You guys just watching, it's playing like it wants to. You see this? Now it probably just picked up orders. It did. It just picked up orders right there. On the lower time frame, you just got a level of confirmation. Let's look at that right now. You did. It did let me know that. So that's nicely done. Now on the 1 minute, you're looking at something a little different. You guys are looking at a nice run here in terms of the lower time frames. You guys normally tune out. You're going to have an amplitude expressed here within this pennant. You guys are already looking at that, I'm sure, at your lower time frames. That's going to give you an interesting option for your reconfirmation I'm talking about, though. So we do this, and I've tried to slow it down because honestly, when we trade at light speed, guys, a lot of people are like, what are you doing, right? So I'll slowly work people into it. I'll just tell you guys, if you're not really, all that what would I say, guys? If you're not all that used to looking at the one time frame, the 1 minute time frame or beyond that, just understand that it's not for everybody. Not everyone is plugged into that. Again, you have people taking early, guys. Again, it may be you. Okay, it may be you that's taking early. The guys on the team is like, and now that would be consistent, guys, with kind of a real hesitant, I'd say, positioning. That's 2 moves we've seen just now. Understand as we do this, Doesn't mean anyone in the group or anything that's selling early doesn't know what they're doing. They're not fulfilling the technical nature. What that means is that's giving us the expression of the market right now. Okay, as we've watched two trades, as you start to get into your trade day, etc., this is crucial information. You start to say, okay, I've just watched two. Great thing to do. I've just watched two. If we have price action, this makes it very easy. I've watched two. On both of them, they have underperformed on the upside. Okay, so what are your expectations when you dive in? Absolutely, your take position is going to be lower, right? That's a decent hitch right there. That's a decent hitch. I want to look back at the 3 minute to see if we're getting confirmation at that level. You guys, I'm going through this very slowly right now. Very, very slowly in terms of what we normally do. If I trade this full blast, full speed, you guys are going to think that we are the most outrageous trade group on the planet. So we're being very, very calm. All right, so you guys understand that. If you see us at full blast, it will be something that will knock your socks off. You have a variation here on the 1 minute. You guys know, but it's going to be it's going to be quicker than what quick used to be. I'm going to tell you that. It's like we used to be quick when we were in college, high school, trading around. Like we got quicker, right? So I'm trying to be I'm trying to be settled in all this. Now on the 1 minute, you're seeing a nice reconfirmation here. Okay, along the trajectory of this, and we're just walking through the technicals. A lot of these are used at lightning speed pace. We're not holding anyone back from trading. Just so you guys know, as you guys slam into this, have fun. There's a lot of positive price action. The good thing is, if you guys make a small error, if you're positively expressed, it's hard to lose, right? It's like, well, just give it a second. Maybe you'll still book that positive trade. Do you see this? Now we're going to run into a line of support. Should be a line of support. People may capitulate here. This should be a line of support. I would want to check back my other time frames. Okay, always doing that cross time frame diagnostic, guys. Always looking at the cross time frame for a confirmation. Okay, now this can drown people out. It's a high move in terms of a confirmation move. I would say that it's a high move, and it required a mid-level adjustment. That mid-level adjustment brought you off of that, guys. Just you're seeing some different formations here, not as technically sound as you would want. If this is what this would be called, a bull trap. You guys got that? Yeah, that would be called essentially a bull trap. All right. So when you look at a whipsaw or a bull trap, you may not know what that is. That's a bull trap. Up to the top, shoo. Just whipsaw on back down. Okay, those are technical terms. You may not know what a bull trap is. Price action moving up, and whoops, sorry about that. How you guys doing? Right? As people with liquidity, or people being what? People being very cautious right now. They may know right now we're up against a line of resistance, right? This is not what we wanted to form, right? This is not the perfect formation, right? Now, what's nice is we're on the micro, we're on the smaller time frames. So as you guys have the position in the brackets that is just building up as slowly we appreciate in price, and we're at 42,280, guys. 42,280, we'll take that, guys. In terms of an entry price, brought to and indicated by the levels down here at just above it. I'm going to move this line up, guys. Indicated at the 29.65. That's huge, guys. About the 29.65. Let me see this real quickly. Let's go to the 5 minute. I want to get that exact price down. I want to make sure that my indicators are properly aligned there. I want to know exactly the price I brought it to the VIP on breakout, not 29.7. I'm going to say this breakout and confirmation right here. And essentially, if they executed within, at the point in time, within the triangulation, which I wouldn't have recommended, I would have, expected a confirmation and some momentum. I'd say 29,000, under $30,000. So that's nice for you guys to know. It was alerted to you in a bullish pattern under $30,000. And it was well formed. That was a well formed ascending triangle, where not this variation, etc. You see how close we are to this upward line, or this, I'd say this diagonal line, but it is above a line of resistance. As we look at this, that may be feeding into the psychology right now of the traders. It may be feeding into you. Okay, as you look at, well, we're a little more hesitant. We're close to what would you say? Close to the line of resistance. So you may be willing to risk a little bit more. You may just be kind of subconsciously or even consciously a little bit more reserved in terms of your ability or your willingness. I'd say your willingness to go after the market and really slam through. There's kind of this hesitation moment. There's this recognition that we're kind of in front of. There's a big line in front of us. Let's go ahead and execute trades. But some people also may be busy doing what? they may be busy spending time instead of trading heavily into this. They may be looking at or even busy, depending, guys, on who you are, what you're doing, how big your position is. If you've just made a colossal amount, and I just say this, anyone who I've heard some people bragging about making a 10% or 15% on a huge amount of money, I'm like, man, Bitcoin just went 40%. If you got $1 million, you got 400 grand, right? Right, and that's okay. But in terms of that, some people have made that amount of money. Some people did enter at or very near the bottom. So as we look at that, some of those individuals right now are literally busy. Instead of pushing into the market right now, they're busy potentially saying there's a line of resistance. They're considering, at least, they're spending time at least that affects the overall market, guys. They're participants. They're spending time liquidating potentially a portion of, or at least taking some of their profits, or at least saying, well, now, whatever those transactions are, they may be saying, I'm just going to let house money ride up into this. I'll still let it play, but it creates that psychology so that you understand the market's kind of balance right now. So as we, it's crucial as you guys enter into trades, guys. It's really crucial. So as we look at that bracket, essentially riding those big holdings, riding as we approach this, it's going to be a very exciting time. This is where the market's tested in a really great way, because all those people holding, all the people who bought low, they want to see $64,000 again. We want to see 100 grand. We want to see, at least let's see 50, right? It's not too far away, right? That'd be nice to see 50. If we can break through this line, guys, we'd be up above 43. And from that point, we are breaking out of potentially, if we can break out of this bullish pattern. Hello, what's up? Yeah, if we can break out of this bullish pattern, at some point, I anticipate that, okay? It's technically indicated. The indications are that this is going to be positively expressed in terms of price. And on the macro, you guys just look at this. It is not what is maybe scheduled up for everyone to discuss. It's just textbook, guys. It is indicated by the line of resistance, the line of support. Okay, descending on both behalves with a downward slant. That's a descending wedge, guys, with a perfect run up descending wedge. We're going to expect that to break to the upside. Even if it recapitulates some, we're going to expect this to break to the upside. It's a bullish pattern. This is what we're looking at in terms of Bitcoin. We are in a bullish pattern. What made this really possible? The Bitcoin spike, guys. Bam. This spike to the upside. We haven't seen a spike like that, guys. Have we seen a spike like that? Not this year at all. Not one at all. We didn't have a hitch in it at all. So in terms of like Bitcoin spike, welcome to the Bitcoin spike. I'm London. You guys know that. We have Crypto Kingdom as well. You guys know we got shut down at Twitter. They shut me out. I dialed in for the wrong phone, etc. And they're like, yeah, you're suspended. I'm like, why? I just used the wrong phone. So they had to fix that. But in terms of the price action, we've been trading all day. We have kind of a bracket approach. The VIPs have a bracket approach. And I know that Mitchell, I can discuss with about Mitchell, who got in about $30,000. Very exciting. He was able to get in near that low that we were discussing in the back. I'm so excited for you, Mitchell. And shout out to your family. I love the family pictures you've been sending, etc. And that makes this portion fun. If you have a position in Bitcoin, and you're willing to hold that. You understand there's value in it now. If you got it at 30 grand, you may be, well, we got it at 30. We're happy at 30, right? You may not get an opportunity to get it at 20. Everyone would love that. The nice thing is if you've been around the game long enough and you understand the potential of it, there's so much volatility. And we would say, to book a negative trade, the best thing is can you double down at a lower level? The VIP is always talking about, can you double or triple down? Can you increase your cash exposure at a lower level? If you can't, VIPs are probably going to tell you, well, that's you're probably overexposed at a higher price. We never want people to be overexposed at a higher price. So in terms of the entirety of this, guys, we're still along the same marching path. We have not gone into a phase where we have broken this trend line. Until that occurs, who's going to sell? I'm going to tell you. Until that occurs, who's going to sell? Me? No, I'm fine. Are you guys going to sell? Maybe not. Why would we sell until we break this trend line? Right? I'm fine to trade. I love trading. I love the fact that this small nuance, as we look down at this on the hourly, this small ascending triangle down here, I love the fact that set off the entirety of this. Why? Because I brought that to the group in the back. Boom. All right. That set off 45% on something that was being like hated on by everybody. Honestly, everybody was hating on Bitcoin. We have a crypto channel. I'm like, we got VIPs. You guys are VIPs. We got members. We got, and they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yes, we do. And so I stood up for all of us. I want you guys to know that. I know you have been too. But then we hit this small little nuanced move. So I'm paying attention to the small nuanced moves here. But guys, until we were to break that trend line, I'm not going anywhere. Are you guys? No, I mean, why would we go anywhere? I mean, this is nice. We're in the money. Things are going well. We're trading on the side with some flash cash, right? I'll say some flash cash. Why? Because we call day trades flash trades, okay? So you guys know. So you may want to call it some flash cash on the side, just a little bit. Not like, hey, fancy Rolex and this and that. We don't need to be like that. I'm talking about flash trades. Flash trades are trades that you do on a very small time frame. You're in and out. Sometimes you're in and out in seconds, guys, minutes, etc. That's the essence of day trading. That's fun. So maybe some flash cash on the side. Different bracket, right? We want to beat the market. We want to have fun. We already called the bottom. Literally, boom. We called that, guys. That's nice. That's good for the team, right? That's a little bit for the morale, right? That's nice for your positions as well. As you guys got in then maybe a bit after you wanted to test. Okay, it's going. It's time. And we've been discussing what's nice, guys. We've been discussing in this group, just so you guys know everything about this, guys. We have been discussing this idea of doubling and tripling down as we go to lower levels. That's the mantra. That's that VIP mantra. That's the top level of membership. You guys know that. We look forward to having you. We have the back rooms of the VIPs, day trading all day long, having a blast. It's a good community. We welcome everybody who wants to beat the market, right? We have former analysts, etc., with JP Morgan, BlackRock. We have cool people, right? The bottom line is cool people who love to trade. Understand what a flash trade is. Understand what a descending wedge is. Understand that we're in a bullish pattern right now. That these are exciting times, that you guys want to be with the group that literally did what? We called this ascending triangle at the bottom. Yo, what's up? Yeah, that's us, guys. So welcome. This is Bitcoin Spike for now, and we're excited to be with you. We called this right here. What else did we call here? Just so you guys know, truth. Okay, we got a witness. Yeah, we got more. Can I get a witness? I can, about the top of Bitcoin. Right here, okay? Boom, okay? Yes. Giving lessons to alpha traders during this time about this being the top of Bitcoin in and around this time, okay? So this is not the first kind of first big play that we've had in terms of establishing ourselves and bringing you guys in the capacity of bringing you guys accurate information. And shout out to Kent Gifford, my brother. Okay, he went through. Just not real brother, but he in spirit. He's a great guy, and he was going through alpha training. I was explaining to him and Kenny, etc. This is the top. This is what the top looks like. This is what it's going to do, and no one could believe it. It was just technically indicated, guys. It was just technically indicated. It wasn't me being bad or anything else, or me being against the market. To the contrary, I like picking up Bitcoin at lower prices. I enjoyed that very much. I've enjoyed very much, guys, the profits that I've made and that you have made along this way up. I've enjoyed the fact that, guys, until we break this trend line, I'm not going anywhere. And I would encourage you to look at the trend line on a smaller time frame. If you're comfortable with the daily, go to the hourly at least when you set your orders. Okay. Now, again, it looks like institutional program buying. You guys, you understand that, right? We have maintained this just flat line of guys support like you couldn't dream of, right? And what that has achieved, and we didn't have it. It's very important to understand we did not have this descending wedge. We didn't have it until we hit this spike. And guys, this is the spike of guys. This is the strongest spike that I think Bitcoin has had in the entirety of its price action. You guys understand that? I believe it's the strongest uninterrupted move. If you go to the daily, you will see it. And what's unique about it is, guys, there's not another move like this in the history of Bitcoin that I can identify right now. And I've spent some time, but it's just so smooth. Look at this. Boom. The other spikes, guys, the other moves to the upside. Now, we had this one. This was nice, but look at what it turns into. You see this? It's just, they turn into some chop, guys. So as we look at this year's price action, this is turning into that's the smoothest move in terms of the move to the upside. That's the strongest spike that we've had this year. You want to be a part of the spike, guys. You want to be a part of that. You call it a pump, this and that. That's a strong move, guys. When we talk about it, you talk about a pump, etc. What it does is, bam, it moves to the upside real quickly. So that's what we come up with Bitcoin spike. There's a spike in the price action. That's what gets your attention. That's what you want to pay attention to. You want to be a part of that as soon as you can be on a trading basis, right? Enter into with larger amounts of cash. Now, we've been planning, guys. The VIP have been planning. You guys need to know that. They've been planning acquisitions since this time in here, and individuals heard me talking about this time about covering heavily into this zone here with double and triple down money. Truth, right? Shout out to Julian, VIP. He reminded me of that in terms of the lower prices I was discussing and wanting to double and triple down at the lower levels. So that's been something that we have covered for a long time. If you guys are looking for a place to call home, of people that you can trade with and that have a good dynamic to them, guys, I try and do the best in hosting the group in the back. And you guys know that, I mean, it's just we call them VIPs because that's the top level of membership. But it's top-notch guys, top-notch girls, people who trade. I want to shout out to Emily. I heard from Emily last night. I'm so pleased to hear from you, Emily. Emily, we're on Bitcoin Spike now, so go ahead and DM me over on Bitcoin Spike. I hope you're tuning in. Great girl from California. She could trade, too. Shout out to Lars and everybody else. Top of the channel, you guys know. With the banner there is Angel, our top what do we say, benefactor, 10.5 thousand, 10.5K. We're going to start putting him on Bitcoin up there. We're going to see how many Bitcoin he's going to contribute to you guys. When he contributes, it facilitates a lot of what we do in terms of just emotional, I'd say, excitement and a lot of different plans that we have. We have plans with ICOs. We have initial coin offerings, etc. The top left, the scan code, you guys, that's for Gate. Gate is the best trading platform I could possibly bring to you guys. Okay, it's the best trading platform. Extremely quick, extremely good technicals, precisely measured technicals like you are not going to get on TradingView. I will tell you that it is beautiful. So if you guys look at that, also you'll get a $1,000, and that's not even like, I don't want to scream about it. I have to tell you guys, like, if you're my friends, I'm gonna tell you you're going to get $1,000. I don't want you to miss out on it. $1,000 in USDT to trade. What's up? All right, so come on and be a trader, guys. Come and be a trader and join us up. If you guys are already members, make sure you take advantage of that $1,000. It's sitting there for you. You just have to complete, I think, a KYC verification, etc., and you'll get that $1,000 USDT. Isn't that nice? That's okay. Yeah, I think I want to make sure you're not breaking the law or doing something crazy, not laundering whatever money or whatever it would be. But as we look at the trade action, we're kind of relaxed right now because these positions are carrying. Right, this trend is a magnificent trend. We can talk about, what has been broken out of this double bottom formation on the hourly, guys. This is a crucial moment and breakthrough for the double bottom. You guys understand that? Technically speaking, that is a big moment. Now, it's also a big moment that we're coming up, and you guys know we've had a variety of guys, of different breakouts along the way here, different levels, I'd say intermediary highs that had to be conquered. All of these intermediary highs up along the way had to be conquered. We did it amazingly well, like fantastically well, right? Just really, really strong indications in terms of the price action, guys. We couldn't have asked for much more in terms of how we were able to conquer through those. So what I want to address is this line of resistance has not been conquered. Now, as you look at your overall holdings, because it's a big deal for the channel, because we've been discussing accumulating at double and triple down, guys, with heavier cash accumulating at lower levels. So these are heavier positions people are in right now than positions that, I'd say were contemplated in along some of these upper levels here. These are heavier positions that you have now. So this line of resistance may mean more. You're carrying through this may mean more. The critical time, again, the next day to 2 days, I measured that out precisely so that you can see. Now, it could be quicker if we decide just to move to the upside. If we break out, beautiful, right? Now, unless this trend line is broken, guys, there is no reason, and you understand that. I mean, clearly, if this continues to just, achieve the miraculous, gains it's achieved, there's no reason to sell. Right, so that main steadfast holding, the larger amount of capital that's been entered into at the lower levels, that double and triple down we've been discussing for a long time, that's been achieved. Okay, at this, guys, at the I'm going to say the breakout 1 or 2, there was this descending, I'd say the descending wedge here. which we don't have drawn right now. Once that broke through, a lot of people were in the clear to do a lot of good things. So in addition to that, we achieved this low here. I was glad to be able to bring that to you guys. I can officially say I called the top, and guys, I brought you the information for the bottom. Right now, if we can hold, and this double bottom on the 1 hourly chart, on that 1 hourly chart, excuse me, if it does hold, I'm excited, guys, because that will mean I brought you the information for the bottom. Okay, and that's huge. That's a big deal, because I focus really hard. I try and bring you guys the best technicals, and to me that means a lot to be able to deliver that to you guys. So I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited because we're in positions. Everybody's making money. These are good times. This is what we want the market to do. We want to set the standard in terms of the just in terms of everything, guys. We want to do it at the channel. We want you guys to do it with trading. And let's look. We're looking okay right now. I'm going to say that we're looking okay in terms of the price action. Okay, we defined what it ran into, and in terms of the kind of a restriction. We talked about day trading a little bit in terms of kind of maybe a prior I'd say a prior. Let me go ahead and shrink this down. I want to see whether or not we're getting a constriction at all. Something that would be identified as a rising wedge. Okay, a rising wedge could present a problem right now, only to the extent it would need to be broken out of. I don't see a really strongly, not a really strongly indicated rising wedge that's of immediate concern. That's beautiful, guys. That's beautiful. We have done a good job in terms of the formation. At least this wedge could push us, if it is a wedge, could push us up, out, and beyond that line of resistance. That's where this is going to become crucial, and it's whether or not you want to respect that line of resistance. Watch it. Just watch if we can get through. Watch what happens with the price action, because that wedge looks like it could get us through that as we start to achieve more positive price action. I want to discuss. Looks like it could get us through this line of resistance. That's what I want to hear, and that's what I want to see as we've developed additional positive price action. I want this line, and guys, it's indicated from these previous highs here, these previous intermittent highs, just a direct line down, part of this descending wedge, a bullish formation. It is textbook, guys. It's a continuation pattern where to the upside. Okay, they are continuation patterns. Look at them. Do studies on them. If you need to study it, I've studied it plenty for you. I promise you guys. As we look at this, it's a continuation pattern to the upside. It appears as if, in line with that we are experiencing, and in line with the trend, if we look at the bottom line of the trend, something that has wanted to formulate a wedge, typically a bearish pattern. However, I believe it looks as if it wants to push up through the resistance. Okay, it wants to push up past this line of resistance. There can always be, guys, what's going to be the red alert, right? That the sirens would go off when? If we broke down through this support line. We haven't gotten there, so it's looking like it's positively expressed where? More so, I'm going to draw this line. I think you guys will agree. More so along the top of the wedge, which indicates more strength to me than it does weakness right now. Okay, pay attention to that. We only have one instance wherein we have dipped to the bottom side of the rising, a very slight rising wedge, guys. It's not even really tightly constrained. So as we look at that, there's only one instance here where we've gone even to define the lower portion of that wedge. Okay, and that's going to give it a fallback. Really, that's going to be kind of an insurance policy in line with the previous trend line that we can look at in terms of saying, yeah, okay, we have a fallback. Were we to even fall out if we wanted to redefine, or I'd say create this hierarchy, this top tier and this lower tier kind of trading channels right now. So that's why I believe it looks like it will push through this line of resistance. Okay, I would be wary of like two zones here. One is the top line, this top line that's been formulated in here. I would watch for any breakout to the bottom side, to that it's only broken down there once. Okay, it's broken down there once in the immediately preceding price action. Were we to delve back into that, I would go onto a different level of alert, looking for a breakdown of the entirety of the trend line that is created since the incipiency, I would say since the beginning, in around the 29,988, the point at which in around that 29,000 where I brought this breakout formation to this positively indicated breakout formation to the VIPs in the back room, guys. And if you guys want access to that, if you want to be a part of the profits that are going on in the back room, just hit the join button. Do that from a desktop computer. For some reason, the terms of service for YouTube, they don't want to allow a cell phone very much. So I had to join. When I joined originally, when I got involved in crypto, I joined on a desktop computer, on a laptop, etc. So you guys join up if you guys are looking for those price targets, looking for the right community to trade with, guys. We have it. It's the best group. I'm going to tell you guys, and you guys know that you are. I know you guys are members. I know you're subscribers. So if you're not members already, you're looking at subscribing, etc. So I'm very excited to have this level of success amongst you guys, because we have been like bullet tough through this. You guys know that we've been bullet tough, and it's nice to see us make a good call in the back room. Bam, hey, because guys, it could have been missed. You guys know that. Hats off to you guys, because I know some people definitely caught it. Then the ones who didn't, they're like, I looked back at it. Well, that's where you got to stay plugged in. You got to stay plugged in. We want to stay plugged in on this. And guys, this is a macro. Some of you guys trade altcoins, etc. This is a macro, slower version of altcoins. If you can't catch this, guys, you need to catch this. This is Bitcoin. This moves a little bit more slowly, right? You got to catch this, practice for your altcoins, right? A lot of you trade altcoins, etc. Shout out to all our VIP members and to all our Basecamp members who are going to become VIPs. Shout out to everybody who's been definitely a part of this, and particularly to the ones who were in the back room when I sent forth the information. Hey, by the way, and we had been trading them so much, it looks like we're in an ascending triangle, right? Just right there, just beautifully expressed as we look at the smaller time frames. Just a really magnificent thing to be a part of in terms of the entirety of that price action. Where did we go? We're on the 5 minute. Let me go back to the hourly. It looks like we floated away from the price action. Some of those smaller time frames are not easy to keep up with. I've got like multiple monitors, like 4 screens at home. I'm in kind of the HQ today, kind of the day trading HQ. That ascending triangle was just nicely defined. You go into the 5 minutes, beautifully defined. That's what got us up out of here. You'll see that hook and kind of this nice little confirmation on the smaller time frames. Is just beautiful, just nice pop up, and it was just wonderfully indicated. You guys, maybe we'll frame that. I discussed them today. I was like, I want to frame it, maybe sign it, because we got that. That's just market intel delivered on the fly, on the spot. And I'm not bragging. I'm so happy that people got it. Yeah, that's the only thing. If you guys get it, post it up, right? If I get it, I'll post it up. That's the synergy we have of the group. That's why this works so well in terms of the group dynamic. And I'm just excited, guys. We have people from all over the world. I looked at the signups just while we wait for this to go ahead and go through this line of resistance. I'm going to say that unless there's a breakdown, guys, we're going through this line of resistance. This is a very exciting time. Now, let me go ahead and talk about this. The fact that we're in a constriction indicates what? That we could want to pour down from this after achieving, and that's why I'm saying it looks like we're gonna break this line of resistance. We would maybe potentially want to reconfirm and then move to the upside. That would be okay. That'd be nice as we look at that wanting to occur. Just do understand we're in a bullish pattern. We're along a nice trend line. There is no indication that we should get rid of any positions right now. I'm just going to say that we, meaning maybe me, myself, and I. I'm not going to give you financial advice, but it's just unless something is negatively expressed, why would we do that, guys? We wouldn't do that. So we can dig further into the time frames. We can go down into the 3 minute. This all started at the 5 minute, guys. It all started at the 5 minute and the 3 minute. You guys know that. And looking at these smaller time frames, you get a great idea of the price action in terms of what is indicated. Now, again, why have we hit this hitch here? Well, day traders like us, guys, we're going to be looking at these. We're going to be looking at these trend lines when something's not perfectly expressed. You guys know that. This, unfortunately, this bull flag didn't quite get that amplitude it needed, didn't quite get the height it needed in the mid-level of that bull flag. So people started to look for different patterns, right? They started to trade things from within the quote-unquote bull flag we were trying to formulate, and they started to say, well, let's see what else is indicated. So this is when this becomes, somewhat of a channel trade, etc., along the line of support. I'm going to say along the line of the trend line of support, etc., that we've identified through this area, which is only broken down to that lower level. As we review that, guys, it's only really broken down, into that lower level once in this zone here. So the rest of the time it's been positively expressed as I zoom in along that upper level, and that's real important as we kind of, as we look at our holdings, as we decide whether or not it's going to capitulate. Some of you have some iron fists right now. Some people talk about diamond hands. I'm going to say some of you have iron fists. You have been trading the heck out of this thing. and I know who you are, right? So it's nice to have you here. Some people have diamond hands, some people have iron fists. They're gonna hit this market. For those of you who are fitting in that category, congratulations. It's an honor to have you here, huh? And you have met a guy here who can box in this market. Okay, I enjoy throwing at the market. Okay, we know who we are, right? In terms of like hitting things appropriately at the appropriate times. It's not for everybody, but we know that you guys are kind of like-minded with the crew here. So nice to have you. If you're stopping in the first time, it's a pleasure to have you. I'm a former financial analyst over, I was a lead analyst on a $1 billion equity fund right out of college, and got used to, I had to deliver. Not talking about me, just let you know I would watch the price action go through the trend line here, go through this line of resistance. I had to deliver financial return information to Harvard Foundation, my first job, and I was like, okay, let's do that. That sounds fine. But it was a $1 billion equity fund. I had worked, very hard in college at finance, et cetera. And so that was, it was a deal. We were working across the table with Harvard Foundation, and I had to be 100% accurate. I just did. It was Harvard Foundation. I'm like, okay, I'll step this up. I went to Duke, right? And so it was one of those circumstances like this this was a deal. Everything had to be perfect. And so I got used to generating return profiles for top level institutions. Thereafter, I worked, for CEO, et cetera, of public corporations, and had to put together the investment return profiles for all the investors, for the shareholders, the 10K, 14K, whatever it would be, whether or not voting rights or whatever it was, but all the particulars in terms of the finances. So that's where I come from in terms of kind of my upbringing in finance, et cetera. And I've always loved trading. You guys have too. I know you have, in terms of, maybe you started in college or before that. I won a competition when I was in high school, and so I don't know. I've enjoyed it since then, and it's just been a continual fascination of mine to beat the market continually. Right? I want to book all positive trades. I want the highest degree of probability. That's what I want to achieve. So Bitcoin has been phenomenal the last week or so. I would say last week, it's just stretched out. I mean, who would have thought this would have stretched out this long? Guys, it's just the smallest little ascending triangle can do that. I mean, just very nice. Guys, we're up 44, 45% essentially, and that's a credit to you guys who entered into. I'm just excited. We've been talking about the double and triple down at lower levels, guys. I've just been excited. We've been talking about that since the top. So, hey, we hit those lower levels, and you guys are in good position right now, 43, 44%, et cetera, and we're just pushing into this line of resistance. Very, very nicely done. We're watching those lower levels because that's where this all started. That's where this started, guys, in terms of a small, little baby ascending triangle, and that was just wonderfully done. Not seeing any kind of a real formation in terms that anything that would really give me pause or hesitation right now. I wouldn't draw this up into any kind of constriction. I just wouldn't do it. It's not indicated right now. If anything, I think we've got a little bit of play here in terms of the channel, and the way that would probably manifest itself. So I think we're fine in terms of this. Really on the hourly, I'd be almost kind of surprised if we don't respect a breakout of potentially what could have been drawn here. Okay, and people, this is how we trade, guys. These are the lines that we look at. But I would be surprised if we don't try and respect this line and around this 42,228, or precisely 42,211. I'd be surprised if we don't respect that line right there and try and continue to move up at that level. We can watch that. But as we're trying to find the next potential entry for those of you who want to day trade on that hourly, I would break it down into the smaller time frames. But that would be another potential entry for potentially a smaller move. You may look for a higher probability trade, okay, fearing the recapitulation into this kind of well-defined, already multiple hits along the line of resistance and support, right? Definitely you guys get into options, etc., on trading perpetuals with you understand when the price moves against you, you don't want that, right? Spot trading is nice. We have a group that enjoys spot trading. With this kind of price action, hey, with 45% over the last number of days, we're okay with spot trading. People want to flash around with some leverage, et cetera, on some options. I say this, if you decided to go bigger on spot recently, you're not disappointed. And people will normally, they'll hesitate on going larger on options. Well, this is one time when maybe it just would have benefited everybody to say, no, let's go ahead on let's go ahead on with the bigger amounts of cash and just spot trade. So we hope to kind of recruit some of you guys. I'm going to say that who maybe have been trading options and like, well, yeah, maybe we should go a little heavier on spot. I'm going to tell you that we try and focus on the technicals very much so, to the point where we're able to enter into bigger positions, have a strategy for entering into bigger positions to where they count more, right? So while it's not that leverage trade, and I understand, guys, it's part of the thrill when you book an option trade. It's like, we just it didn't move against me at all, right? And it's that nuance of getting into the price action. And it's like, no, I'm good enough. I'm going to know every single blip of where this thing's going to move, right? And you guys, you understand how good it feels to book a nice options trade, right? It's a different level. So, but within that, you understand the caveats. You understand the risks involved as well, right? And it's not always kind. The fact that the options just got taken out of Europe on Binance, I would pay attention to that, guys, big time. Something tells me there's something behind the works on that, to where something wasn't going right. Something was not going right, guys. As you try and conquer the options world, I hate to look at somebody who's a great trader and think he's getting put through the storehouse right now because they're just taking his cash. I don't like to think of that, guys. So I'm not going to speculate on that. But if I had to, I would say that potentially could be going on, right? So just understand that I care about you guys as traders. I care about the community, and I want you guys to be kind of okay with that, right? In terms of like kind of your positioning, etc. So just take care with what you decided to trade, etc. So as we look at this, I don't really see a really strongly indicated line. I'm going to say in terms of the line of support here, beyond, if we wanted to just triangulate this out, and I'm going to draw these lines because this is what's going to trade on the hourly. It would be expressed on the smaller time frames as we work up into this line of resistance here. Okay, the primary okay, focal point of the price action is indicated by this trend line, the support along the bottom. We have an upward portion of the channel where the price action has determined itself to carry in along the top, with one breakdown in line with the preceding, I'd say, the initiation of the trend. There's only been one breakdown, guys, as you see this in here, but it's consistent with the preceding price action when the trend began. So that's kind of the fallback position. Right now, we're still in the top level of Bitcoin's pricing in terms of this almost a super trend, guys. It's a mini super trend. It's close. It's close, guys. And if it would want to throw over, part of a super trend is a throw over. You guys understand a super trend, what it is, right? It's just dynamic price action, guys. Multiple, like a defiant, essentially it's a defiance of a typical wave pattern formation. Just a strong super trend. It would be kind of, this spike is a miniature super trend, guys. So what we would expect at the end of a super trend is a throw over. What is a throw over? A throw over is where we break out up above, guys. We break out up above this top line of resistance. We would break out up above that. If and when that occurs, that's typically called a throw over. That's the technology, or the terminology that would be used. It would be called a throw over. The throw overs can go for a while. They can continue on something that's receiving that much attention. Bitcoin right now is hot. You guys know that it is burning hot, right? It is hot. Everybody's making good money. It's receiving a lot of attention, both in the market right now and around me all the time. People are continually coming to me and saying, what's going on with Bitcoin, and I'm happy to tell them exactly what is going on. So shout out to everybody in the stream right now. It's nice to have you guys. Know it's Saturday night. I guess you guys are lit up with profits right now. Love to see that. So happy we've been discussing heavier levels of involvement at lower levels. So happy we were able to bring you guys, just to bring you guys this level of technical expertise. I feed off of you a lot. You guys need to know that, and you guys are kind of the inspiration for keeping all this stuff going. And as is Bitcoin, as is the overall community. Glad to see people kind of finding their place in terms of you guys. Definitely understanding you need to go over to. I'm going to interrupt just a minute and make sure. Let's see what we have. There we go. We got AJ Crypto. Look at AJ Crypto. Nice to see you, AJ. Hey, VIP's found his way over to Bitcoin Spike. Hey, what's up, Luke? Nice to see you, brother. Mark, nice to see you, brother. These are VIPs finding their way over. Very, very nice. Hinkle, I think maybe you're going to join. I'm not sure. You guys join up. We are on, just to cover this, we're on, look at this, is nice, huh? Bitcoin spike. What's up? We called it, guys. We put the information across to VIPs in the back rooms. Day traders, join VIP. This on the top left. Trade $100,000, guys. You get $1,000 for free. If you wanted to go 100x, you can. I wouldn't recommend it, but if it's free money, maybe you guys decide what you want to do with it. You can scan either one of these. You can join VIP on the right. You can join that on your desktop at home. But I like the new formulation here on Bitcoin Spike. We have the back rooms that are like Bitcoin. What do we got here, guys? Just to show you guys, Bitcoin DM. There we go. Charts, etc. Just, pattern trading, etc. Just this is where the action goes. If we make a good trade, typically I'll try and throw a dunk in. I'll just do that, guys, because it just feels like that. It's like, yes, we just got another positive trade. Love booking positive trades. Kind of that flash cash. We'll call it that. The flash cash. And all that means is like flash trades. You guys understand that? Nothing to do with like being snazzy or something. That's, it's just we all are who we are. But we have a great group. It's called VIP, but we got a good group. Now it looks like we're contemplating doing what I definitely stated. I would be surprised if it didn't do that, which is recapitulating to this line. You guys know we talked about that about 15 minutes ago, and it hadn't done it really yet. But recapitulating to this line, and we discussed whether or not that would be a pickup point for you all. You see that just right now. If you guys saw that, as you see this moving here, as you look at people take I'd say enter and take positions, etc., this is a pickup point. You just saw this flex down to that line. That's how you know that this is a properly drawn line, guys. When you see the price action go and pick up the order and retrace like that, that's letting you know there are orders there, people picking up, and those are orders executing at that line. Again, I'd be surprised if this weren't involved, hopefully through a continuation of the price action. It's just exciting to get excited about Bitcoin. And I got to tell you guys, it's exciting, huh? It's got that feel, doesn't it? And we're excited about it. People are making money, right? And it's when we get into a positive trend, it's just nice to be able to be a part of it, to have been able to bring you guys some of the market intel on it, to be able to have it expressed privately at the bottom. Hey, ascending triangle, right? We caught it. Yes, I'm so glad we caught that, guys. So glad I caught that. Because hey, I got a life too, right? I got a life to live. I got things to do, but I'm so glad I caught that and just slammed that into the VIP room. That's so nice. Now, that's a backdoor restricted access. You guys, please join. We want you to join. We want good traders. So in terms of that, also within this pattern dynamic, just telling the world, like everybody, you guys, and saying, hey, I think it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. This didn't have to happen necessarily, right? But all the indicators, all the fundamentals and the technicals seem to point in that direction, right? So I'm so glad I said that, guys. I am so glad that you guys were a part of that. Make sure that you have the notifications turned all. Make sure it's all, okay? Because you can click on the notifications with the YouTube. Make sure you go and click on the bell and then select all, so you get all of the notifications. Otherwise, it puts you through an algorithm. You may or may not get those notifications. So yeah, me saying to everybody, because I don't do that all the time, guys. I don't do it all the time. Say, I think it's a great time. It's a good time to buy, right? So the people that I've been around here, and you guys who have stepped in, and hopefully, if anything, I'm another level of confirmation. How about that? You guys are technical enough. You're skilled enough. Hopefully, I can be another level of confirmation. And you guys know, well, London has spent a lot of time with the technicals. Well, okay, I've got 99.9 factors. We're going to give them a 0.01 factor. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. If I were the 0.01 factor in something, I hope that we can play a good role in that continually. So, just watching. I don't want to run into, and I've seen this a few times here. Okay, I've seen it a few times. Let me see if I've seen it. Let me see if I want to call this, guys. This is something I want you guys to be a little bit cautious of. Kind of right here. Yeah, we've kind of seen potential for what right here? Well, potential, and we got past that. I went ahead and said, let's see, okay, a potential double top. We would at least be looking for that there, right? Potential double top. Well, we were kind of there here. They're kind of there here. Be careful of that double top. So we've gotten into that mode a few times. I don't want to stay in that mode here. I believe that this line will serve beautifully, okay, in terms of us not running into a double top concern right here, because this has been a phenomenal move. People are looking for that. I believe that this will serve as a line of support. This is on the hourly. Keep an eye on the theory of like double top, exactly where we're at, right? So as we look at that, formulate, we have already hit on the lower time frame. It's nice to see that confirmation in terms of our discussions, etc. We've already hit that line of resistance, which is turned into a line of support. So you'd have to go from the hourly to the 5-minute to understand the price action now on the 5-minute. Do you understand that? You have to go from the hourly and guys, draw across. It's critical as you look at these lower time frames. They can dictate everything. They can dictate the entirety of this move. They did ascending triangle at the bottom on the lower time frames. So as you look at this, it's instrumental right now that we say on the hourly right now, you have to draw on the hourly to understand exactly what's going on right now with the price action on the 5-minute. Otherwise, if you just draw across on the 5-minute, guys, you're in no man's land. You're absolutely in no man's land on the preceding moves here. You're in no man's land. This preceding pivot and this preceding pivot leave you down here with nothing. Instead, we've drawn on the hourly to show where we're at on the 5-minute currently. Correct, right? You guys understand that. So that's nice. This appears to be somewhat, I'd say, without that expression from the hourly brought over to the 5-minute. Without that expression, it always involves this confirmation across time frames, across indicators. It always involves this level of mental acumen, right? So without this level of expressed potentially resistance, that's going to turn into support, we're going to hope, along with the manifestation of hopefully, we have a lot of room within this channel still. But without this level of support here, guys, we would be looking at immediately engaging in kind of a wave pattern formation dynamic. This wave pattern formation. Now, this looks like what? What does this look like? This is the same type of expression with multiple kind of a work up and a begin of a retracement without the line of support. It would be, right? And it would remind us, guys, almost exactly of the entirety of the move. We talk about a wave pattern formation. It would remind us a lot of this, in the entirety of this move on the macro for Bitcoin. You see this wave, kind of this hill formation, right? This wave pattern formation, right? This here, which did retrace, okay? A standard retrace would be an ABC. You guys know that. But this move here, this pattern formation, let's say these pattern formations here, it reminds us of what's going on right now on the lower time frames. So we would have an expectation in terms of the move of that. However, we brought over from the 1 hourly the line of support, thus abrogating, thus stopping potentially, I'd say, this expected retracement like we saw on the macro with Bitcoin. Okay, so we're always doing those diagnostics. That just comes from time, guys, in terms of, you guys know that. But that's, just we want to identify these patterns. We want to be able to identify them, see what this line of support from a different time frame, how it's going to play into the mix. It's going to play into the mix. We're just not sure exactly, we understand the probabilities. So our strategy is right now with the carry. We have the carry gotten at the lower levels, guys, with double and triple down with heavier amounts of cash. We have, if you have a trading, I'd say a trading budget, well, I just want to kind of trade. You want to trade. You still make money on trading, guys. That's the idea. Even people trading with smaller amounts of money. If you're not good at day trading, you may say, well, that's too risky for me. Guys, you can learn. You can definitely learn. I'm seeing right now potential for an ascending triangle on the 5-minute. Potential for an ascending triangle on the 5-minute. I want to see if this wants to. If we just set this in here, okay, paying attention. We just set a higher low here. Talked about the level of support. We're on the 5-minute. We've just set that higher low here, okay? Now, we would want to see if we can establish this. The first thing is a higher low. I always want to see a higher low. Okay, now I want this to establish the key feature here is going to be what? It's going to be, and shout out to all the guys. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you. Okay, as we look at the phenomenal success of the channel and guys, Bitcoin, we couldn't do it without you. I want to see this move in line with this preceding. Excuse me. I want to see this move and set itself. It's going to prove that buyers are in the mix. If they're going to push this up into this zone here, and we're going to establish another, essentially an intermittent high, perfectly in line with the preceding high. that's going to give us an ascending triangle. If we do not, if we kind of spiral down a bit into this, we're going to be looking at a more bearishly indicated, just a frustrated, just temporary, guys. Just and right as I say that, I want to break through that. I'm hoping that the buyers are in control of this, critical time where when we are, guys, we're going to break through. I'm just going to say that we're going to break through it. If we don't, that's fine. If we don't, you guys let your stop losses go. You guys go ahead and engage in the breakthrough of the trend line. But it looks like we're going to break through. Let me say that. It looks like we're going to break through, guys. We're going to break through this line of resistance. This line of resistance, let's go ahead and this is the Bitcoin spike, guys. This is it. This is the strongest spike we've had all year long. Okay? This is not a pump. This is a Bitcoin spike. This is the strongest move we've had all year long. You guys look on the daily. It's the strongest, most interrupted move that we have had thus far, guys, this year. It's just a beautiful, beautiful move to the upside, guys. Beautiful. JP Morgan showed up with some power, huh? They sure did. I mean, Elon got involved around this. When JP Morgan showed up and said they're going to offer it to their wealth clients, hello. I mean, okay. That we have to give them some credit along with the Elon Jack Dorsey meeting. You guys have criticisms of all those people. That's fine. I do too. They probably have them of us too. So that's fine. But in terms of the positive price action, this has been phenomenal, right? This has been like a trajectory. I mean, does it make you miss your altcoins? I'll say, hey, I did bring Rune to the group. Hats off. I brought Rune to the group. It went up 85% in 6 days. What's up? Yo, what's up, right? We always are looking for 2X's, 3X's. Rune was a special deal. I brought it with some kind of special, like, hello, how are you guys? Look at this. It was a big deal. I try and bring altcoins. I try and bring something heavy to the group every week or so. Rune was the most recent one. So and it has some institutional interest in terms of its use, its utility, the framework of it, etc. So there was a reason that we chose it, guys, and a reason we got into it. A lot of due diligence going into stuff like that. A lot of research on my behalf, and a lot of legwork, guys. You guys know that. I hope you're doing well with it. I hope you guys always know we buy low, sell high. The question becomes, well, how high, right? Well, that's the question. So you guys do your analytics, work on your extensions. Currently, we're at that 38.2 on Bitcoin, which has, and again, this double bottom on the hourly. I just want to cover that again just to remind you, repetition is key right now. Let's reframe these technicals. On the hourly, we have a beautiful set here of a double bottom. How was that accomplished? We have a double bottom. How do we break out of this double bottom? With a little tiny ascending triangle. So the fact that we had established the double bottom was an indicator that we could be going somewhere, right? We could be taking off. We had already established one previously. It didn't hold. Okay, it did not hold. We can go there on the daily, I believe. On the daily has a preceding on the daily. So the hourly set in on Bitcoin in around 29,006. So it was indicated we might go somewhere. And that's kind of the nuance level in terms of like research. Well, how would you know? Well, we had just established on the hourly, we had just established essentially a double bottom. So I was very keenly aware of the possibility of even the slightest hint of buyers being in control. I'm going to be paying attention. So when this hit and it established a higher low and a flat line across the top, which is indicated on the smaller time frames. But yeah, I definitely brought that to the group, and I'm like, check this out. Sorry, it's getting a little loud in here. I'm having fun on Saturday night, but yeah, we've kept it together real well so far, and I know you guys are having a good Saturday night. While we're making money, everybody's having a great. You better be having a good Saturday night. I hope you guys are. You're here with I'm London. This is, I guess I should say, the Bitcoin spike. You guys see the new layout. We'll address some of the nuances of the visuals, etc. We'll get everything working right and looking really dandy for you guys. I want to make sure you guys, your VIPs, are not only making money, but you're having fun, right? I want to make sure you guys are having fun. So as we look at this, that's what the market's all about, guys. We have to be having fun, and Bitcoin has allowed us to do that. So, okay, we didn't get what I wanted on the 3-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. It's the same. Okay, so we didn't get what we wanted. I wanted an ascending triangle. It looks like we have fallen instead into, in the 3-minute is a little bit frustrated. Let's work with the 3-minute because it's a little bit more frustrated. Let's look at that. Okay, let's see what we have here on the 3-minute. Let's look at what we have. Let's go into the 1 minute and see if we can really identify what exactly is going on. Okay, on the 1 minute, it looks like we have frustrated into, let's see, I don't necessarily want to do this, but I'm going to do it, guys, just to check into the smaller time frames because I want a good, perfect read on what's going on. On a big trade, I will definitely check all 21 time frames. You bet I will. You guys do too. I mean, it's just, okay, I'm just going to draw this out so I see this. Right now, let me take a look at this. That's what I thought. We're getting into, on the smallest time frames, we're getting into something that looks like a symmetrical triangle that's wanting to move to the downside. It was indicated on the larger time frames, but imperfectly expressed. So I wanted to get into the smallest time frame to essentially reconfirm what my indications were. Okay, my indications were a symmetrical triangle, which is what? Which is a continuation pattern. A symmetrical triangle is a continuation pattern, meaning if it's heading down, it's going to continue down. That's okay, because right now, as we look at this, it could continue into, it couldn't actually, no, it couldn't. I was going to say it could continue into, I was going to say a descending triangle. It's not indicated due to the mid-level hitch. So it cannot do that here. Unless, and I think it had sometimes, no, I guess not good. Okay, on the candlestick, sometimes it'll complete out and we'll play one anyway. That's not indicated. Sometimes I'm thinking light speed ahead, 2 or 3 moves. That's not indicated. So what we do have indicated is essentially, I'm going to say any kind of a coil. When you look at something that's symmetrical triangle, you're going to say it's going to coil, okay? That's going to want to coil up, right? They're called coils or symmetrical triangles. That coil is going to be, it's a continuation move to the downside. It's not, we wouldn't anticipate this just to move up from here. It's going to interact with that line of support again. Now, this is fun to the extent that we start doing this and we start to trade live and have some fun. I think we can have a good time. We are slamming trades back and forth. We have like an overall larger position that we're carrying, right? Which we do until this trend line's broken. No, I mean, no one's getting off the bus until the trend line is broken. You guys know that, right? So there's no reason to, right? There's just no reason to. You know, unless you're really hammering through your trades and you're really throwing back big level positions back and forth. Some people are, okay? Some people are, and that's fine. But it's just if you have that time and dedication, resources, just to focus on that. I mean, resources, not cash. Resources in terms of time. Time is one of the most precious resources. You guys know that. So if you have that time to focus and solidify your framework on, well, full time, I'm not going to miss anything. This is what I'm doing full time. And a lot of you guys do day trade full time. So to the extent that you guys are more heavily involved in back and forth positions, I know some VIP guys that have been doing that. Hats off to, I know AJ had a big move the other day, had a big trade, and has had a few sizable trades. Kuda, I have an imagination that you're hitting it out of the park here and there on some trades. Good job to both of you guys. It's nice to trade heavily in an uptrend. It's a little forgiving, isn't it? Yeah, it is. You got that fallback position. I messed that up. Well, you got a fallback position. As long as you're willing to double and triple down, you guys, as long as you stick, that's your mantra. As long as you guys continue to do that, things continue to work out well. So I'm looking at this. Definitely breaking through this line of resistance. That's what I'm looking at. I anticipate that's going to occur. I'm going to go ahead and shut down shop, guys. We really appreciate you being here. Make sure one thing. The $1,000 is the real deal. Okay, I'm just telling you. Prove me wrong. If you can prove me wrong, guys, I'll be impressed. I put trade 100,000, free 1,000 here on Bitcoin Spike on Twitter, guys, okay? What you'll find is go to Bitcoin Spike. That's me, okay? Go to Bitcoin Spike, and that's what we've had, the strongest one this year. Go scan this. Sign up with this link on Gate. That's where we trade. All the trade data comes across the table there, guys. On the right-hand side of that, you'll see to scan that. Join VIP. Join from your desktop. We have the #1 group of day traders that I could imagine. We have a music section, we have a Bitcoin section, we have an altcoin section. You guys join us today. This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. Formerly, right now, we're Bitcoin Spike. We've been hitting out of the park.